All right, and we are live. What's going on, guys? I am H through the game, and I am here with my awesome co-host Josh, aka the Immortal Afro. What's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Another
Oh,
fantastic day. Some good topics.
yep. And man, we I missed last week. Oh, I'm gonna be transparent. I was playing Ravens Watch.
and I was playing with them.
Yes, we were playing Ravens Watch. Um,
Time got away.
Yeah, man. Time got away. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, we've been getting killed and all types of stuff in that game. But on the subject of Ravens Watch, Josh just told me they had a new trailer for Ravens Watch, the Romeo and Juliet trailer. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna play it right now just so I can check it out. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it, and Josh can give you his thoughts on it as well.
Right.
So let me bring that up and we will get into it. Ravens Watch.
Oh,
Let's see
yeah.
here.
It's like the game of the year for 2 years in a row for me.
Bro, that game is it's so evil. That game is so evil, but it's so fun at the same time. It's like I can't stop playing it. Even though it makes me like mad. It makes me so mad playing that game.
Yeah. It's getting me close to that rage level because it's like, man, some old BS, man. Game robbing me, man.
I know. And we gotta play perfect and just frame parries and death blocks and death punches
Yeah,
and
you
all
gotta
types of stuff.
gotta position yourself perfectly 4 moves ahead. Otherwise, you die anyway.
All right, so let me play this trailer. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm gonna play it. Let's see. Check. I'm gonna stop this trailer right here. I see some lies in this trailer because when we be playing, it be like 3 times or twice as many of those enemies on the screen. It's
Come
like
on,
one,
her. They
maybe.
gotta sell the game.
No, man.
I
They need to tell the
mean,
truth.
technically, it's not a lie. You could play on the low difficulty by yourself, and it looked like a lot of fun.
Man,
So,
we be getting swarmed.
that 100 enemies on the screen.
Hey,
You
bro.
turn the corner, and that'll be the end of it.
The pig with the chain swinging at you off screen, and oh
Yeah,
my god,
grabbing you through shit. Like, well, how the
try hard guys,
hell?
hardcore gamers. These are like all hardcore sites. It seems like I've never heard of any of these sites.
Yeah, me neither, but whatever. I let it slide because I like the game.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
We're never one
without the other.
on guard, my love, and fell these cursed fiends.
My Juliet
Okay.
shall shoot them through and through.
Okay. So they're two different characters.
My love, bring hither blade.
And let your bullets sing.
Oh, hey. So we were talking about that pig, man.
Yeah,
That pig like snatch you up real quick.
man,
But
kill you, especially
yeah.
if you like a certain character. If he gets you, that's it. It's over.
So I thought they were gonna be like two characters together, kind of like Scarlet, where she transforms.
Yeah, I thought that too, but I think it's like a different type of gimmick. It'll stay in the trailer.
Okay. Because so far I'm liking this because in RPGs and fighting games, I always like gun characters. I'm a big fan of like the Wild Arm series and westerns and things like that. So them putting a gun character in this game that like primarily fights with a gun is awesome.
Yeah.
The foolish nightmares beckon for my blade.
Unless my bullet finds its target first.
Nay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way that they are, I don't think you can play as just one character because it says only available in co-op. That part that kind of throws me off. I'm not sure what that means, but
Yeah.
it seems like I don't know. Maybe you can't go in with just Romeo or Julia if they say something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play with one of them, you got to play with both of them, you and your buddy. Or you could probably play with one of them just only through co-op. But I don't know. Because I think they're really leaning into the inseparable duo part,
Well,
which makes sense for the characters.
Me personally, I don't like that because, like I said, I just want to shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But if I gotta have this other character, which looks kind of sorry to me, he looks
I don't
sorry.
know, man. He look cold, man. You Raphael just poking the hell out of folks and swiping them with the rapier. That's cool. I like that. Like that fight style isn't like cool like most Swords characters, but I don't know. It's kind of grown on me over the years. Probably because of Soul Calibur and a few other games with cool characters like that.
Yeah. Well, I am looking forward to this. I'm not gonna lie. It looks cool. I like the little rose that he has that comes out.
Yeah. And I like how she got a nice assortment. She got some Dante Devil May Cry stuff going on.
Yeah. I love that. So I already know now. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a crit build with that character.
Yeah.
If you can use her on her own.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that'd be kind of weird if they do that, but we'll see. Because otherwise, I don't think they would have specified that.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Man, I want this character now.
You gotta wait. You gotta suffer, level up, learn the other characters.
Nope. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, I try to get everybody cold. I gotta beat it on Nightmare with all the characters.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying Raven's Watch, and I can't wait for that DLC. But we'll probably continue to play it as it is on
And
Nightmare mode.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, those characters are free.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That is what is up. But so let's get into some of the topics that we got planned for today. So the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves beta, I think, ended like either a week ago or 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But we all just, got a chance to play it. And we kind of want to share our thoughts on the game, visually, gameplay wise, got to talk about the matchmaking too, which
matchmaking, what is that?
You got to talk about that matchmaking, man, because that is something that is an issue.
Yeah.
But so I'll ask you first. I know this is probably your first Fatal Fury game that you played.
Yep, it is.
Okay. So what is your overall impressions of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves?
Overall, I like it. It's it doesn't feel too, I guess, foreign as a 2D fighting game. It's different enough to where I don't, I like it more than I dislike it. The only thing I kind of dislike, it wasn't really the game's fault. That was just growing pains, learning a different system and how to do certain things. But overall, like I thought it was pretty good. Like I never really understood the difference between Fatal Fury and King of Fighters until this game because I always thought they were like the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you and Cross kind of broke down how these games actually were, and this game does borrow some elements of King of Fighters that uh, I missed upon first glance until I really start to play it and learn the mechanics and what does what. It gives me. It feels very Street Fighter 4 to me, and that's what I like about it because Street Fighter 4 is my favorite Street Fighter. So that's kind of kept my interest and will probably be what leads me to buy it and put some time into it. I'm not really interested in going to the pro circuit anymore as I am old and washed up. But I think it would be pretty fun to have like a 2D fighting game because I really haven't been playing any fighting games really.
Yeah.
Like not really yet. Not really anything. The occasional old Tekken, but other than like as far as 2D fighting games go,
yeah,
I can't even think of anything that I've actually been putting time into consistently.
Yeah. Now, for me, I'm a huge KOF fan or SNK fan. So I've been playing KOF 15 like crazy. I played that game. At one point, I was playing it like every night. And, we haven't had a Fatal Fury game since 1999. So it's been over 20 years since we've had a Fatal Fury game. So me, I'm like really excited about this. I played the old Garou Mark of the Wolves, came out in 1999, and I was like, okay, it came out with this. I was like, let's go. And I was hoping that this game would play like KOF, but it doesn't. It plays like nothing like KOF. But what makes me even madder is like it has like KOF stuff in it. Like it has the short hops, it has the run. Some characters can run like KOF, some can't. Uh, but it's like the hops just they don't be hopping like KOF.
Well, I guess that's what because I remember you mentioned that before, and I guess that's what kind of like perplexes me about your expectations. I'm like, because it seemed like from what Cross told me, it was like, yeah, Mark, City of the Wolves, or I guess Garo, has always kind of been meant to be more of a traditional 1v1 2D fighter.
Yeah,
Whereas KOF, they have the team battle, and it's a lot more chaotic with, the short hops, how fast paced it is. And that was kind of one of the things that, I guess you could say turned me off of King of Fighters originally before I understood all 2D games can be different.
yeah.
Because, I like King of Fighters, but I can't say I'm like, oh, I'm a fan. Play it all the time because my favorite King of Fighters isn't actually a King of Fighters according to y'all. But anyway, but
Yeah, off brand.
whatever. That's the real one. But yeah, so I guess like it seems counterintuitive to expect that from this game because I'm like, if it's King of Fighters you want to play, then play King of Fighters. But if it's KOF you want to play, or not King of Fighters, but if it's City of the Wolf, Fatal Fury you want to play, then it's Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
So I guess that's that would be my question. Like, why is it that your expectation seems to be from one game onto another when they're so specifically distinct between
because you're right, but at the same time, it's like they share a lot of things. They share a lot of things between the games. Like I said, the short hops and the running, and both of these characters, Rock and Terry, are in KOF 15.
Yeah.
But they play, they're like night and day. What's going on? Yeah, we can hear you, Cross.
Are you talking about
Fatal
your
Fury.
expectations with Fatal Fury? I agree with
Yeah,
Josh. Everything I
yeah,
heard with Josh, that's, and I've heard like your side where you're like, well, there's things that they share, but they work differently. It's like,
yeah.
well, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, and you're right. Like you, both of you guys are right that they are different games, but it's like I feel like you know I was expecting for like okay, it's gonna be like something to where like it just either it doesn't have the KOF stuff in it or it does, and this kind of like does, but it's like the off-brand
It
KOF
does
stuff.
not.
It does not,
I don't
and
know.
it's
Like,
like it is like, and I just thought that it would share the things that it did share. It would do it well, like KOF does. But like you guys said, it's a different game, a different style of game, and I had to come to terms with that playing it as I was playing it, and I was like, okay, I can't I can't think of this as KOF. It's its own
yeah,
thing.
I think that's like really unfair to look at it like that. It would be like, and Tekken players do this, but it would be like a Tekken player going to Soul Calibur and then being like, why doesn't this play like Tekken? And they do that. And then they'll judge Soul Calibur through Tekken's like
Lens.
how Tekken, yes, through Tekken's lens, and it's like unfair. It's like, yeah, throws work this like for the most part, throws kind of work the same, and yeah, like for the most part, like the heights are the same, and there's a lot of similarities between Tekken and Soul Calibur, but they're clearly different games. Like, they're not
Yeah,
meant to, they're not even trying to be the same game. It's just, and there are characters that have been in both too, like Heihachi. Heihachi does not feel like Heihachi in Tekken as he does in Soul Calibur. He plays differently, even though he has some of the same moves. He has you wouldn't even call it that in 442, but he has 66B in Soul Calibur 2, but you don't use him the same way,
yeah.
because the game doesn't play the same way. So you can't go over to someone and just jab, jab, backdash around, wait for them to whiff and do
Yeah,
442. Like, you got
yeah,
to play Soul Calibur when you play
yeah.
Heihachi.
And, and you're right. And I was playing this, and I'm trying so hard to KOF. It's like let me
You
KOF,
know,
please, just let me
Yeah,
KOF. And it was
it's
like no, go play
KOF.
KOF
Yeah,
team if
yeah,
you want
like
to play KOF.
you
And
got
it's like
your KOF is over there, man. Go
yeah,
go
right.
KOF over there.
and
And
I
it's
was
like,
like,
and I don't want to like be saying that because I'm not. I,
yeah,
I'm
no,
way out, and I'm like,
no.
okay, it's
You're
just
right. I was like, man, they got short hops in the game like KOF. Let me do it.
not really.
It's like grandpa short hops, and I think they only have four. And I
Yeah,
think KOF has like eight or something like that.
Yeah,
Eight
there's 8
jumps.
different jumps in KOF,
yeah.
and this game
Yeah,
there's only 4.
And that's another thing I was kind of realized because like when I was looking at a video breaking it down, and because at first I couldn't tell the difference between the hops because they all look like jumps until I looked at them because there are certain moves you can do. Like I think you can I don't know if it's certain moves or whatever, but certain moves you can do from a short hop, certain moves you can do or can't do in a actual jump.
yeah,
And I thought that was interesting, and I was like, okay, so I see
Yo,
the similarities.
yeah.
can
What's
you
up?
guys
So
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, Grant. What's going on?
Okay, okay. Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Not much. I'm just discussing this Fatal Fury City of the Wolves beta. Did you play any?
Nah, I haven't. I haven't even. I seen y'all like play it, and I just been like observing it.
You too busy
It
on that
look alright.
Marvel Rivals and Apex.
Well, not Apex anymore, but Marvel Rivals pretty much.
Who you playing? Johnny Storm now?
Johnny Storm. Who's that?
Human Torch.
Oh, oh, look at this guy.
Oh,
We
see, I
gotta
don't
kick.
know about
Hey, we
Marvel.
gotta kick you off the show.
What? You're not a Fantastic Four fan like me, even though I'm not a Fantastic Four fan. I just happen to know the name.
You better know who Reed Richards is and Sue Storm and
All
the
right,
Thing
Sue
are.
Storm is Invisible Woman,
Okay,
and
I was gonna say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm like super basic with like Marvel knowledge. I just
Yeah,
like miss Marvel growing up, kind of.
Yeah.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's never too late. Well, actually, it might be. with how Marvel is today. But anyway, I'm not gonna rant. Not gonna rant. But Cross, what were your initial impressions of Fatal Fury City of the Wolves when you first played it?
I really liked it. Um, I mean, yeah, I didn't really got much else to say. It was pretty much ex- like what I expected it to be, but like more fun. Like I didn't think I was gonna like Hotaru that much. The only problem I had with this game was before I played it was, well, there's no character in the game that I want to play.
Yeah,
So I was like, well, that kind of sucks. But playing with Hotaru, I was like, oh, I like this character a lot. Like she's versatile. She has like pretty much a tool for every situation. Her rev blow kind of sucks ass. Um, that's the one thing that does annoy me a little bit about this game is how different everyone's rev blow is. Like it's cool that that's different, but then some characters are so different that I'm like, what the fuck are you supposed to do about this? He's breaking the game design rules of what you're supposed to do against rev blow. Like when
yeah,
someone does rev blow, you're supposed to throw them, or you're supposed to like just block and then take your turn back. But this
yeah,
motherfucker jumps in the air. He jumps
yeah,
in the air as his ground one. So I'm like, then what the fuck do you do? Because you can't throw him. So you just gotta let him do it. But then if they know that you're gonna let him do it, they're just not gonna do it, and then
yeah,
they're just going to like do offense. And like it's fucking. I was like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have. I don't mind characters having different red blows. They go different distances. Some are not so good, and some are really good. I don't mind that,
yeah,
but you can't have a character do something like have something that's a part of their move that is like one of the things you would do to beat it. He beats that without some other thing like it's acting like because most red blows are not unsafe. They're like
yeah,
plus or they push back or something. If
yeah,
his was unsafe on block or something, I would be like, okay, I get it then, because like yeah, but it's that's a little, but that's like character balance stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's not like the entire game or whatever.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I really like the game a lot. The only thing I don't really like is the UI. I feel like the current KO, like not KO, but like SNK games, their UI is just not very good in functionality. Like the way
Yeah.
it
mm,
looks is fine, but functionally, it's like bruh, why can't I just find this thing? Or why are you making it so that I have to go through six different tabs just to find this one thing? Or it's not good. And
You can't use a mouse. You got to use a fucking
yeah,
controller.
like yeah, you can't use the
yeah,
mouse sometimes, but then sometimes you can, and it's
yeah.
they'll
It's ugly.
disable the fucking like controller. That's kind of whack.
Yeah, it's ugly.
And in the online, they really need to fix that shit. That online was fucking garbage. It
Yeah,
was
like,
really shitty. Like,
bro, I was just sitting and waiting, holding my controller, scratching my head, like, where is everybody?
dude, it
And
was that's
then
the
it's like it got to a point where it's like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna have to find some friends to play with
well, yes,
because it's just taking way too long.
it was like it really it just depended because some people I talked to, they were like, I'm finding games all the time. And I was watching them and they were just boom, 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 getting games. But then I was like you. I was just sitting there like, I can't find a game to save my life. And then when I do
Mhm.
find a game, it's like Uh, dude, the ping. Have you seen the fucking memes that people been posting about
Yeah,
this game where the
yeah,
ping is like 40,000 and
it's
shit?
it's crazy.
It's like,
Where people
what
on Mars and
the
shit.
fuck? Yeah, like these Mars interstellar connections, dude. Like, I've never seen this shit in a video game in my life. So it's like, yeah, they got to fix that. It's
Yeah,
like I don't know what it is about SNK. They can make really good like fighting games where it's just a fighting game. Ain't no bullshit in it. Ain't no like, combat mechanic. No, we gonna help you learn. Nah, it's just this is the fucking game. and you're like, damn, this feels good. I'm just playing a fighting game. But then the
Yeah.
online is so shitty. They fucked that part up so hard that you're like,
Yeah.
well, fuck, I can't play it. Like, that's the only thing that's really annoying. And it's like, man, I wish y'all would get that shit right. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So
like um, looking at this game, like have you guys ever seen Beautiful Joe? Like, know that
yeah,
yeah,
game?
yeah,
yeah, it does
Like
look
their
like,
graphics kind of like remind me of that.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it
Got some
does.
That's
I
that's
really
didn't
good.
think about
actually like the style that they're kind of going for. That comic book shell shaded type look. So
Hmm.
I will say that the game does look good. I got my gripes with it. It's just personal things, but the game does look good. I don't like the slowdowns when you hit people on counter hit. I guess there's something new that they've been doing with games where like it's like they have to show and slow down the combat. So I guess people who haven't seen the game can kind of understand what's happening. And then you hit somebody, and then they show what's happening on the side of the screen. It feels like the slowdowns make the game feel slower than what it is. What and then like it's not KOF speed, so it's already slower. And I just don't like the pacing of it. But at the same time, like you said, Tevin, it's like it feels like a real fighting game where you win based on your skill. There's a lot of defensive mechanics in the game for you to kind of do different things. Uh, I don't feel like there's no, like you said, comeback mechanics. And if you do come back, it feels like it's you.
yeah,
You did the necessary things to come back.
yeah.
I'll say I do like that, but as far as the speed and pace, I don't really like that too much. Coming from KOF,
Well, yeah, because KOF was more your style of game,
yeah.
right?
Um,
As an outsider, like I that's kind of like interesting to me that it take your skill to like come back from like a deficit.
yeah,
So that's one appealing thing about
yeah.
this game.
But before we move on, any more thoughts or takes on the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves beta?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's I never really played the beta for like regular people. I only played friends, so my experience was great. I never touched
Yeah,
the I guess the matchmaking part. That's why I was like, there was matchmaking in the game. I thought you only played
yeah,
with friends, but
and bro,
yeah, it was pretty good.
we had some really cheesy, uh crappy but fun matches. Like, so for those of you who don't know, there's like really no training mode
Yeah,
per se, no training mode in this version of the beta. But so you pretty much are figuring out like a lot of stuff on your own, or um, grouping up with friends in lobbies to kind of practice and try things out. So that was really fun because like we was all banding together and looking
Yeah,
on
I kind of like
YouTube
that.
and Twitter and
I like that.
other, yeah, it was that.
You know how like everybody was really frustrated at first, like on the first day, they were like, "There's no practice mode in this game. All I
Mhm,
can do is play against people. This is bullshit." And I was thinking in my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, "Am I really the only one that thinks that's sick?" Because like now everyone like is just playing the game. Like there's no prior knowledge. Everyone's a fucking
mhm,
scrub, and we're all
yeah,
gonna just play this fucking game and just figure it out based on feel. And
mhm,
then so a tweet from Justin Wong, he literally said what I fucking said. He said, "I think it's sick that no one has a fucking that there's no practice mode, so I don't have to fight day negative 46 or when I first turn the game on."
yeah,
yeah.
He's like, "I think that's fucking tight." And I
yeah.
was like,
Like I never seen like a fighting game without like a practice mode. So like, how do you guys figure out like the move list?
Well, this is the beta, so it hasn't released yet. So this is just a test for them to kind of see how the connection is with everybody, and kind of, I guess, to get a response and see how everybody liked the game as well. So in this particular beta, they just didn't put the training mode in this version.
Yeah.
Uh,
They do have the command list though.
yeah,
Like if you're
Okay.
sitting in like the what do you call it? The like online area room there. So like when you go in to select your character, you can look at the command list for your character.
Okay. That's what I want to know. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
but
Easy workaround.
Yeah,
yeah,
so like to me it reminded me of like the arcade experience.
yeah, that's true. That's
It's like
true. I
I
agree
thought
with
that was
that.
cool. Like,
Yeah,
and then of course you have people that's like, well, I got two computers and I set it up to where I can actually practice against myself and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, whatever. People are gonna do that, but like it
I,
is what it is. I
it
thought that
just
was
kind of like it's a testament to how into the game people are. So I think
yes.
that's
yeah.
good.
It's like the fact that they were willing to go through that to figure the game out means
Mhm.
it ain't a piece of shit. Because
Yeah,
trust me, if there was some dog shit that didn't feel good to play, man, they wouldn't be trying to hook up two computers so that they can fucking practice the
Yeah.
damn game.
that's true. That is true. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next topic, which deals with Tekken 8. Recently, we just got some news that the new season 2, is coming out for Tekken 8, right? And to kick off the new season, we got a trailer, a new slash old character.
I can't wait to pay for a second time.
And yeah, and so I am going to bring that up if I can find that video. But yeah, so I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were on the Anna trailer. It's pretty much what it is. And let me bring that up. I can't believe I can't find that. But yeah, the new Anna trailer came out, and I just recently did a video kind of breaking down what I thought about it. And I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts are on it. As soon as I can bring it up. Let's see.
I can't wait to say the line.
Say the line.
Yeah, I can't wait to say it.
Oh
But I
God.
gotta wait till the time is right.
What?
Yeah,
Don't ask me for shit.
no, no.
Oh,
You know the line. Tell me
is
like when we
it?
get there, you'll know it. You'll be like, oh
Oh, okay. Is it? Don't ask me for shit.
yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Damn, thought it was that.
All right. So everybody's watched this trailer, I'm assuming, right?
I mean, I
yeah.
think I did. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I guess Gran, we'll start with you. What do you think about the Anna trailer?
Like when I don't really like Anna like design. Like she looked too like anime rather than like um old school Anna, classic look. Like they don't look like
Yeah, I agree.
too much like the Anna I know.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my problem with her design too. Like if we're just talking about her look, Anna's supposed to be like classy. Like she's supposed to look like a classy hoe. Like,
I mean,
like
like
but she
she don't
doesn't
have
look
that.
like that.
She
She
don't.
kind of look like I don't know how to put it. She kind of looks like somebody mama.
She looked ratchet. I'm gonna say it. She looked
Yeah,
ratchet.
yeah, that's it. She
Very
looked
ratchet.
that's exactly how she looked. She looked tacky, like too loud. Like why she got like I know that hair highlights are in, but that shit ain't good on her. This type of character. She's supposed to be like classy 50s sex appeal type of character.
Yeah.
She's like a
Mhm.
James Bond love femme fatale. Like, but this is like new James Bond. But like this is how this is like, and I feel
Right.
like the reason why her design doesn't really work is her hair highlights and what she's wearing. Nina, like look at Nina for example. That works. That looks like Nina. There's a lot of things that make it Nina. One, she's wearing a purple dress, right? Two, she has the sunglasses on. It makes it look like she's trying to like be incognito.
Yeah.
Like her look looks like something Nina would wear. But Anna shit kind of looks like it's designed by someone who doesn't really like Anna over the years, and they're trying to make her look like what they like,
Yeah.
and that's what I
Hmm.
don't really
So
like.
I
I
guess
want.
I'm in a minority opinion. I think she looks cool, but that's because I don't really know or care much about the character. So just from a visual standpoint, without all the context, she just looks cool. It's
I
like,
mean, if
oh,
this was another character, I probably would agree with you.
yeah.
Like if this was someone else, like if this was fucking Cindy, I would be like, yeah, Cindy looks cool. But because it's Anna,
Yeah.
it's like,
And she
eh,
kind of looked like over the top a little bit to me. Like
yeah,
You mean
yeah.
like
the
Tekken
older
8?
game.
Like,
Yeah, Tekken 8, yeah.
It's
I
Like
super
guess that's
over.
why she looks
I
like
like
she
that
fits.
costume
So,
though.
Yeah,
The
I was gonna
the
she was
say
like
that
costume
she was like
three,
I like
costume
that.
three is
Yeah,
really good.
that looks so
Like
sick.
that, like this is like her alternate costume. Her alternate costumes are usually like really like crazy. Like I'm like all right, like she is just a hoe. Like her two costumes are either like she's just a hoe or she's like really really classy. But it's like this one's more on the hoe side, and then her Tekken 7
yeah.
costume is just really good. Like I always
Yeah.
Like
I like
historically, she always been on like the whole side,
yeah
of the look,
yeah,
And
but
Tekken 8 is kind of like I don't know, she don't look hoish.
I agree.
You get.
Yeah, she don't look hoish. She look like anime, like you said. Like she looks really anime. And Anna is not the character that looks anime at all. She doesn't look like that at all. It's a white woman in a Chinese dress, and it's just like that look is not here at all.
Yeah. I think I don't like the red streaks. I think they should have just made it'll look better. I don't like the cut either, but it would look better if it was just one color.
I agree.
Um,
Yep.
you know, just doing too much. But Tekken 8 is doing too much.
Yep.
This is what they
Hmm.
want to do. It's like going over the top, going overboard
sort of.
with with
Yeah,
everything.
but it's like certain character designs they ain't doing that though. Like Reina, she looks fine. That's a character like her design, the way she looks. You could put her in Tekken 7. You can put her in pretty much any game from Tekken 6 onwards.
Yeah,
Honestly, even Tekken 5. She's kind of like her and Asuka. They're kind of like within that same era of like the way their design looks. It's like, but then you have other characters where I agree. Yeah, they're like super extra over the top looking. It's like, okay,
Like Eddie.
yes,
yeah.
Mm.
yeah,
Oh,
Eddie.
I like Fang Wei. He looks cool. I don't think he's too over the top.
I don't even remember how he looks in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he looks dope. Um, but as far as this trailer goes, man, I was saying in my breakdown of this trailer that I don't like all the grenade launchers and shotguns and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
I
me
feel
either.
like it don't
They
get me
could.
wrong, it's cool. It's cool, but at the same time, them adding all that stuff takes away from the martial arts feel of the game. Is for
Hmm.
me, it's like when you got her swinging the
Well,
grenade launcher and shooting the
but this
shotgun.
is
It's
my
like,
problem. This is my problem with all of Tekken 8 in general. Like when
yeah,
it comes to like the character designs, it's not even just Anna, but they'll take one thing that a character used to do that was like it's like they go back. This is like the Tekken 8 formula for almost every like returning character. They find the one thing that they did in the past that people memed about, or it can be like, oh, you remember that one time when
Yeah,
or oh, Brian, he's known for the knee, right? Because knee played him, and he has the fucking unblockable knee, and so then they make the whole character about knees, in
yeah,
this game. Oh shit,
Hmm.
he's the knees, all knees. It's like that was just one thing he did. Like it didn't become the entire character. And so with Anna, it's like they took the one fucking part where she in Tekken, the Tekken 5 opening, where she kissed the fucking rocket launcher and
yeah,
then shot it at fucking uh Nina, and then that they brought that reference just as a reference back in
yeah,
Tekken 7. Like, oh yeah, look, she has the rocket launcher. She does it in her fucking critical or whatever the fuck you
yeah,
call rage art. And now they're like Tekken 8, that's her whole that's her whole like fighting identity is
yeah,
rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket
You
launcher.
know, one
It's
one
just
thing I
like
worry about is if they add like too many characters with like weapons and like rocket launchers, it just further move away from like the Iron Fist feel of the game and all that.
I
Like we
agree.
yeah,
already got Victor,
yeah.
we got Yoshimitsu with a weapon. Now Anna got a weapon.
Well, it's Yoshimitsu, it's Leroy, it's
Leroy.
Law, it's
Mm-hmm.
Nina.
Nina,
Nina,
and
Anna.
Um,
Uh, who else?
there's some more.
Yeah, there's some more, but I can't think of them. And it's just
yeah, it
oh
used to
Yeah,
Jack,
be.
so
Jack,
Jack.
Jack. I
Oh
forgot
yeah,
about
he
Jack.
got the giant plasma
He said he
cannon.
dropped a gun on you.
Yeah, like
But yeah, it's like they just it's too much. But I wanted to say, in this character design here, she don't look that bad. It's like this character design and then her actual 3D model look kind of different. It's like
well, it's the jacket.
the red streaks are like toned down
Yeah,
in this
that's true
character
too.
design here. I think
Yeah,
if they would have did that, it would still been a little bit over top, but at least this is a little bit better.
I would take the jacket off. I think that jacket hides so much of the design. Like she actually looks so much better when she like if this was an alternate, like this was a
Yeah,
costume too, and she had that jacket off, I would like this a lot more. But she doesn't look like classy sex appeal. That's like when you think of like if when you have to summarize these characters into like a few words, like that's what Anna is. She's a classy hoe. And then her two
Mm-hmm.
piece usually supposed to be like ho ho, like straight up ho,
Oh,
and then
oh,
her one piece is classy ho, like it's like that's it, that's the character, and it's like where it's like Nina is like the sexy and cold assassin, like she's not a hoe, it's just that she's like cold assassin lady, and then
yeah,
usually her 2P is like business. It's like
yeah,
like in disguise or some shit.
Do
yeah.
you
But
remember T6 Anna with the cougar jacket? Like
Yeah,
look, you
yeah,
know, that's what we kind of like looking for.
yeah,
right, exactly.
and like Tevin, I see what you're talking about. Like with them putting these pieces right here or showing these pieces of her outfit,
Yeah,
it actually really does look cool. They actually are covering up a lot of detail.
yeah,
I like the bottom, even the bottom of her shoe is like sick. That's a sick design.
yeah. Like honestly, I wouldn't have even given her pants. I feel like giving her pants hides the fact that this is a leotard. They should have either given her really low cut pants, or they should have given her like a skirt that's a half skirt where it shows off one of the legs. Like
Mm,
you can't be afraid to do sex appeal on a character where that's their main thing, because then
Yeah,
other characters they're not that's not their main thing, right? So you really got to go in on characters like this. Other characters like Reina, for example, she's like a tomboy. So it's like you want to emphasize these things. And they did a real good job with Reina. That's why everyone popped with Reina so well. You know what I mean? Everyone loved Reina because that archetype of like the dark tomboy, I
yeah,
realized I was looking through like all the different fighting games. That archetype has not been done before. There's not a
mm.
dark tomboy. There's a bunch of tomboy characters, but there's
Like
not like a
Asuka.
yeah, right. But there's not like a dark tomboy, like a asshole tomboy. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't really exist, and that's why they turned it to 11 with fucking with Reina when it comes to like her showing that off. Like
Yeah.
you're not even, that didn't even require enough of my power. It's like it's like
Yeah.
they really poured it on. But it's like with like Anna, they're like, well, just turn her into fucking rocket lady, and then like she, uh, I don't know what's in today. All right, do that, and then that's it. It's like,
Yeah.
all
But
right,
like Reina like tomboy, it's kind of believable because Hiachi is her grandfather.
right, exactly,
So
yeah.
she got it from him.
Yeah,
And
right. So like it makes sense too, but it's like but like it really hit. And then when you take her jacket off, her costume looks cool underneath it. It looks like something a tomboy would wear. So it's like, when people were comparing her to Asuka in a like demeaning way, where they were like, "Oh, like this character is just like Asuka." It's like, well, yeah, because Asuka is an archetype, and that's the tomboy, but she is the like, like if you have Goku, she's Vegeta. That's what it is. It's like, so that's all that is, and that's actually really smart that they
Yeah.
were able to like put that together. That's one of the few like things about Tekken 8 that I was like, yeah, that's a just straight up W. That's a character that's gonna show up forever.
Yeah.
Like Reina is a
I agree.
forever Tekken character. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's definitely the future of the franchise.
yeah, because
Um,
she's likable and like in almost every way. It's like,
Now, I have a question. You guys remember that Steam came out with like an announcement where they said, "Hey, you have to show what your DLC is going to be ahead of time, and if you don't, then you can't release it on Steam."
yeah.
I wonder how they're gonna get around that because I don't know if it takes effect this year, but I kind of concerned about that. I wonder how they're gonna get around that.
Well, I
But
mean,
you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The
yeah.
Steam rule.
Yeah, yeah. So essentially, you have to announce. You don't have to announce like everything that's like the exact contents. Like they don't have to say it's Anna that's in the season pass. They have
Yeah.
to announce that what the content is going to be. So there's going to be 4 characters and 2 stages. Like you know what I mean? But they don't
Okay.
have to say it's going to be Heihachi's bathroom. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like so like. But there were season passes where they were like, we just have a season pass and details will come later.
Oh, okay. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
like so, like that's how some people were doing that shit, and then they'd be like, you won't find out how what was in the season pass. They're like, oh, it's over. You're like, wait, what? There was only 3 characters.
Yeah.
You know,
So the season pass, Anna stage, character stage. Okay.
right?
Okay. So
now
I thought,
Harada
yeah.
did
Go ahead.
mention that, I think he did like a poll on Twitter where he asked the crowd like, do you guys want the characters all revealed or do you guys prefer the characters like reveal one by one, like through the seasons?
I would rather them
Like
all be revealed. I think that it's fucking retarded. Like that idea. I know what they're probably are. What do they? Okay, I'm gonna say what I think they chose, and then you tell me what they chose. They chose for the characters to be revealed one by one, like majority of people. Is that what they chose?
one by one
Yeah,
for
fucking
each
idiots.
season.
I don't get that shit. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. This
But
idea
I
that when
it
things
create
get
hype
leaked,
though.
no, it
And
doesn't.
like
That people are so no. See,
yeah.
I
I
don't believe
think
in that shit.
I
Like
think people want to be surprised.
nah, nah, nah. That's
I
not what
think
people
so.
want.
I
Look,
think
let
so.
me let me tell you what I think it is. I think that like that's what people say. There's a difference between what people say what they want and what people actually fucking want. When
Yeah.
a leak happens, everyone's fucking hype about that fucking leak. And when
Mhm.
it shows that the leak is valid and those characters are in the fucking game, it does not destroy hype. People are not like, oh fuck Cam, like when Cammy got fucking leaked for Street Fighter 6. You know, it wasn't like, oh man, I don't even care about the Cammy trailer anymore. No, when Cammy came out, everyone was fucking hyped to see that fucking trailer. And that's been the case for every fighting game I have witnessed, unless they are not hype about that game at all. And then the counter argument to that is going to be, but don't you think that the potential hype would have been greater if they didn't know? No, because the difference is that when you don't know something and then you see it, it's like, okay, cool, you're gonna go watch it. And if unless it's some shit that you don't like let's say, um, I'm trying to think of a character. I don't know. Ganryu gets fucking announced. No one fucking like. Let's say the people who like Ganryu, they're gonna watch it. The people who like Tekken in general, they're gonna watch it. But the people who don't like Ganryu, they're not gonna fucking watch it because they're gonna say, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about Ganryu." The same fucking thing is gonna happen when the leak happens. It's just that they know in advance. But the people, if I like Xiao Yu and she was a special character, let's just say, and she got announced in this lineup here, when the Xiao Yu trailer come out, you think I'm not gonna watch it? You think I'm not gonna be hyped to see it, even though I know she's in there? Like, no, and that's
Yeah.
most people are not like that either. Like, I've not seen one person that said, "I ain't watching it. It got leaked. I ain't buying that. It got
But
leaked.
Armor
I
King's
ain't
not
talking about that. It
Armor
got
King's in the game, and I know it. Fuck it.
yeah,
See,
ignores it. It's
see,
like,
But
I see. I disagree. I think the surprise factor is a part of the hype when it comes to gaming.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like
Pre-internet era.
it's like once it's like, of course, like you said, maybe the hype won't die down if it gets leaked, but it does take away from it. It's
it
like the
doesn't.
mhm.
mystery and the surprise of like, okay, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be
Yeah.
Armor King, or is it gonna be Marduk, or shitty ogre or somebody? It's like there is a factor with that when it comes to hype. I think it does make the hype factor higher than if we just, okay, everything is just leaked.
No,
Is I
Mhm.
think
I,
so.
I
my
I agree.
my argument against that is that it's only perceived that way when it's good. Because if okay, so if something gets leaked, let's say Tifa is one of these. Let's go back before we knew what Clive was going to be in the fucking game. And everyone was getting real fucking excited that oh, it might be Tifa. Oh shit, what if it's Tifa? Oh, I think it's gonna be fucking Tifa, right? Let's say it got leaked and it was Clive. Would the disappointment would have been more or less?
It would have been more if it was
It would
like
if it would have been more if it was
if like
before.
if people like if it leaked, and like, hey, this is gonna be Clive.
Right.
Everybody's heart was sinking their fucking chest.
No, but
Like,
yet
what? It's
everybody
not
every
Tifa, but
everybody's heart did sink though.
it's like, okay, but still, you not knowing and it being the mystery still plays into the hype. Even if whatever comes is shitty or whether it's good or bad, like when you don't know, it still plays into that hype factor when it comes to
Well,
a character.
my point is that like when you have okay, if you know beforehand and it's something that sucks, it destroys the hype. But then when you do know and it sucks, it destroys the hype because what destroys and builds hype is anticipation of good things. But if we flip that and say, okay, well, they know that something that let's say we flip it and the leak happened and it was Tifa. That I know that you're going to say that, well, yeah, that would have definitely taken away from the hype from the reveal. But there's no fucking way because they wouldn't have said, oh, well, you know what? Now that I know Tifa's in, I'm not going to watch the trailer. I'm not hype about that. All that would have did is build anticipation for the trailer because they would have been like, oh my God, I can't wait to fucking see it. Because now I know it's going to happen on this day when when they do whatever fucking talk they're going to do, I'm tuning in. But other
Yeah.
people might be like me, I didn't tune in at all because I thought everyone was fucking full. I was like, you guys think it's fucking Tifa? You're out of your fucking mind. You think it's Tifa? That's crazy. But if
Yeah.
I knew it was Tifa, my ass would have been sitting there watching.
All right,
Yeah. I
Cross. I
mean,
got a question, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. This scenario, right?
Okay.
You got like a birthday party coming up, and like somebody tell you, that the party they finna throw a surprise, birthday party for you.
Okay.
Like, wouldn't that like ruin experience because you already know, and you're not gonna be as surprised because you already knew it was gonna happen,
Yes,
kind
it
of
would
thing.
it would completely destroy the surprise and hype. Absolutely. But that is not comparative to fighting games, because the reason why people get excited for a fighting game is because this is like an investment for what they're going to be doing with their time moving forward with the game. Like a surprise birthday party is like an event that happens that one time that I wasn't expecting, and that's that. But like the hype or non-hype doesn't die once the trailer or announcement happens. It continues to happen over the like span of the character until they are released. And the hype is
Yeah.
there. The reason why you want to build hype is so that people will be interested in purchasing the character, so that like the game is relevant, right? Like, like you want, like, as the company, you want people to be hyped, because like the idea, okay, so let me like go back. So I agree with your example, that in that scenario, yes, I agree with you there, but my disagreement is that that is not comparative, and I'll explain why. The
Yeah.
reason why that's not comparative is because when you look at it from the perspective, let's look at it from like the perspective of the company, and then the perspective of the person that will be buying it, right? So from the perspective of the company, they want hype because they want their game to be talked about and to be relevant, so that it is in like people's minds, so that because if it's not in your mind, if you're not thinking about it, the chances of you buying it and participating in it are like, they drop dramatically, right? But if everyone's hype about Anna, let's say, and everyone's always talking about it and they're excited for it, there's a good chance that you might be pulled into buying it, because you're like, well, everyone's hyped. Let me get Anna too. Let me look at what she's fucking doing and blah blah blah. There's a lot of people who would have bought Tifa that don't even play the fucking game, just because everybody else is talking about it, and they want to participate in the hype.
Yeah.
So, like, you want hype, right? Like, but what actually builds hype and what destroys it? What builds hype for a fighting game is the anticipation of being able to actually use the character, and like what the character is going to look like, how they're going to play, things like that. Once those things get revealed, people talk about these, because you're not going to be able to like fully, what's the best way I can put it, fully understand all of those things until you get the character in your hands, like until you're able to actually play them. So when a trailer comes out, like let's think like Geese Howard, right? Like when Geese Howard got announced for Tekken 7, everyone was hype about that, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone was super sick. But did the hype just die down immediately after the trailer was done? Was it just like, okay, now we know that Geese is in, we're not hype anymore?
Interest lost.
Yeah, no, right? Like the
Like
hype
life
only,
goes back to normal.
Mhm.
yeah, no, it didn't. Like people anticipated Geese all the way up into release.
Yeah.
People were hype about Geese, and it kept building, because they gave you a taste. Now that you know that Geese is here, now, because you didn't know before, so it was normal before. Now you know that Geese is here, the hype begins. That's how you should be looking at hype.
So
The
I
hype
think
begins, and then it builds until the character is out. And then once it's out, that's when the hype starts to go down, because you get to actually like you become normalized with what the character is. You play them and blah 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 blah. So
I so
all a leak does is start that process early.
Yeah.
I think that um just with your geese example, I agree with a lot of things you said, but I still think the fact that we didn't know that it was geese played into the hype. It's like, I think if we knew that it was geese, or it got leaked that it was geese, I don't think the hype would have been as big, or the
I think it,
surprise. I think the surprise factor when geese, those fucking gates opened up and we saw geese. I
Like what
think
the
that
hell?
moment where everybody was surprised and everybody was jumping and hooping and hollering is geese, because we didn't know. I don't think we would have gotten that type of reaction from people if they actually knew and like it had leaked. So yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% think that if it's kept a secret, the hype is going to be a lot higher than if it wasn't.
I think
It's
that that's
just me.
overplayed. I think it's
I don't
overplayed.
think
I think
I don't think
that
so. I think the reactions of the crowds, we've just seen it too many times
yeah,
when
but
like things that have been kept a secret and like and revealed. Even Akuma when he came in Tekken 7 was hype. It's like nobody knew that that's what
I,
they were doing. It was hype.
yeah,
It's like
no,
actually,
like
the
I'm not.
reactions is like on another level. You can't deny that.
hey,
Yeah,
I'll
no,
tell you
hold
my
on, wait a
experience.
minute. I am
I'll tell you
not.
my experience.
Wait,
Like
okay.
when Tekken 7, like I didn't know that Zafina was gonna be announced when she did in Tekken 7. I had to wait like 5 years like for my character. And like
Mm.
Evo was playing and like they were gonna get ready for top eight. I wasn't expecting Zafina at all. And then freaking I seen like freaking they put the trailer on, the trailer went on and we didn't even know like who was gonna be shown or anything like that. And then I seen Zafina with a crystal ball in her hand. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I was like jumping around my living room, like this can't be real. Like fucking Zafina is in Tekken 7 now and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So if it was a leak, then I probably wouldn't have like ran around my room as much as I did. But that's like an experience, personal anecdote for me. Like it really like fucking brought it out when I didn't expect it. Brought the
Yeah,
hype out.
Explain what you're about to say, Chad. Because I kind of, I'm more on your end of this argument. But go ahead.
my point is not that people don't get hype when things are revealed to them that are good that they don't know about. Of course, and like if you use the experience of Geeshauer or Akuma and you show people like, yeah, that they got extremely hype. Okay, that is something that works. I'm not saying that it doesn't. But what I am saying is that whether the process starts at the trailer or whether the process starts at let's say a verifiable leak, like a leak where not like some like leak where it's like, you know, we're talking about like a leak where, yeah, that's what it is. I think it just starts it early because there's two types of, let's say, like verifiable leaks. There's either a leak where, because you don't know prior anyway, like prior to the leak, you don't know what it is. So it's either going to be a leak where it's like a trailer, a trailer gets leaked, and now it's Zafina. Okay,
Mm.
it's the same fucking thing. You just saw it earlier, and you're going to be hype about that, because you're going to be like, my character's fucking back, and it got leaked. You had no idea, and I would say you had no. I would say it'd be even crazier, like it would be more unexpected from a leak because you literally had no like clue or anything that it was going to come about. Whereas like when you go to Evo and you go like you're watching some fighting game tournament, especially something like Evo or something like that, you're expecting like some type of reveal. You're expecting some type of like I'm sure like I know it doesn't always happen, but chances are it's gonna happen, right? And so it's like you're expecting that, and then when that reveal happens, let's say like when that leak happens for Geese, Zafina, whatever your favorite character, it's like if you like that, not only are you going to get hype, you're going to watch the trailer and you're going to be thinking about it all the way up until release, just like you did with. So the purpose and the function of it happens the exact same, and the people that are involved that like it are the same too. It's like there's no change.
Well, when I see a leak, whether it's somebody I like or don't like, my hype goes down whenever I see leak. It's like, okay, now that I
But,
know,
but what
now
do
that I
you actually
now that
do
now that
though?
it's like now that I know, it's like, of course, like you said, we're gonna watch the trailer.
Well, yeah, okay.
But
So let's
now
say
the anticipation or the surprise factor is gone now. It's like,
okay,
okay,
yes, the
I know
surprise
now.
factor is
It's
gone.
like the hype goes down for me
Okay, hold
once
on,
I know.
but I'm talking about action. Like, okay, let's say I'm trying to think of what's a let's say Yamazaki. Okay, let's say that Yamazaki was in that leak for City of the Wolves, right? And now
Yeah.
you are no longer surprised. You didn't know about that Yamazaki was going to be in the game, but now you know that Yamazaki's going to be in the game. But you don't have a trailer yet.
Yeah.
All you saw was a list of characters that it's verifiable. Like, it's trustworthy. Yamazaki's going to be in the fucking game. All right. Okay. So for you, you're like, well, I'm less hype now. But if they're like, hey, next tournament or whatever, we're going to show a trailer,
Yeah.
you're going to be tuning in to watch that fucking Yamazaki
Yeah.
trailer because you're going to
One-
be excited about it, right?
100%.
Okay, all right. And then once the Yamazaki trailer comes out and it's something, let's say he looks cool, he does all the cool shit, he sounds cool. Let's say he even plays like something you will like, even though you don't like the game that much.
Mm.
You're gonna be thinking about him all the way up until the fucking game come out. You might even fucking purchase the character. What is
But
the
like,
difference?
what if you had that all in like one package of like a trailer? Like you get
Yeah.
like your character, and then you get to see like what they do, like all in like one package instead of
Well,
like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
He saw that in the trailer.
think what's missing is the build up to the reveal of the character. There's like there is hype in not knowing. It's like me being surprised with Yamazaki and then a leak happening, you know, it's like two different types of like reactions.
All right,
It's
can
like
I
go
say-
ahead, Josh.
Okay, man. I really, in my opinion, like, cause I'm more on Tevin's side, but I think the concept of like hype and leak, or not leaks, but hype has really been diminished just due to the current state of gaming. Mainly because it's like he said, like hype really is determined by if it's good or not. There's good hype. Oh man, this character that's new, like Reina. I had no idea about it. It's complete mystery. That's cool. Versus the exact opposite, Clive. And it's like, you know what? Fuck all of it. Like, I'd rather you just tell me everything, because being that fucking disappointed is infinitely worse than getting my favorite character. And with the state
And
of how
being
games
surprised
are,
by your favorite character.
yeah,
Like,
being surprised.
the commodity of being surprised more worth more from both the company side and the player side. Like, it's the commodity of being surprised way higher than you knowing what you're going to fucking get, and then being able to either anticipate it, because you don't know everything. I just know Yamazaki's in the fucking game. I don't know how he's gonna look. I don't know how he's gonna sound. I don't know how he's gonna play. I don't know any of this shit until I actually fucking see it. Or being like, oh damn, it's fucking I don't know, my kitty, my Hello Kitty or something, and it's like I don't give a fuck about my Hello Kitty, so I'm not hype about that. Why I don't have any anticipation for. But if I'm like, oh, I'm excited for the next character, then it's fucking, I don't know, that fucking football player Ronaldo, whatever the fuck. You think I'm gonna be hype? I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be like, oh, but the disappointment would have happened at the leak. I would have looked at the leak and said, "Oh, fucking Ronaldo's in. That's fucking whack." Like,
that's way better than all that build up just to be like, now I'm just gonna stop playing, because this obviously this game is a joke. Like this is they prefer this, and I think it's something that they really because Tekken is so popular now with everybody outside of Tekken players. That's why they find it more valuable, because all these people will always be like, wow, Herloa, it's all, I am so surprised all the time because I'm not actually a Tekken fan. But for like people who actually care about the game, it's like, you just want the game to be good, and you want what you're already adjusted to.
Hold on, Josh. They answered that they would prefer the surprise than knowing upfront. Like, the people playing the game, the reason why I know that's what they prefer. Even the people that play the game, Josh. Like, you're wrong in that. They prefer to be surprised. And this is every fighting game. You know how I know it's every fucking fighting game and they're like this? Is because whenever there is a fucking leak, they're like, Oh, I'm so sad and disappointed. I feel so sorry for
You
the
ruined it.
developers.
You
And
ruined
then
the
the game come out, you
surprise.
played
You
anyway.
ruined.
You,
Hold on, wait,
yo,
Herbert. You ruined the surprise. But then every time there's news, they're on top of it. Every time there's a video, there's 50 fucking videos talking about the leak. They watch every one. They want to talk to you about it all the fucking. Hey, did you see such and such's video about that thing that happened?
You're so
Uh,
torn about
so
this.
so it's
Oh,
strange how they're disappointed and it ruined the surprise and all the hype. But all their actions, what they actually do, shows me that they're anticipatory and they're excited about it.
yeah, of course they're
Okay,
excited
so
about it.
that's why I'm saying,
If
like,
it's
their
some,
actions don't
yeah,
line up with what they say they
no,
want.
no,
Like,
I
that's why
disagree.
I don't.
I disagree
Okay, how?
because like you can leak some cool shit now. Just because you leak it, don't mean it ain't cool.
No,
It's
I
like
didn't say that at all.
I mean, but like it's like you can be like the surprise factor that comes behind the release of these characters are something that people like.
I know that that's something that
The poll shows it. People like
no,
that.
I
And
know that.
Hey,
they think that it is a great part behind the hype.
Yes, I agree with you. What are we disagreeing with? I didn't disagree with any of that part. What's the disagreement?
Yes. Well, disagreement is you trying to say that people are gonna be just as hype if like
Yes,
it
because
leaks
their
or not.
actions contradict their
That's
words. That's
no,
why
it's
I said
no.
that.
And what I'm saying is it don't because you can leak some cool shit and
Okay, show me
you can still
where
be
the
hyped for it, but it's gonna be to a lesser degree,
but
you
you
know.
can't demonstrate that. Because they're not demonstrating that. Their actions are betraying what they are saying. Their actions show that they're extremely excited about it. And then I have to go on some hidden variable of, well, it would be more. How would I know that it would be more when all of their actions show extreme excitement? Well, it just would be more. Well, when I see examples, when I compare them to examples of of it done, let's say the proper way, where we didn't know anything, there's no leak and then it gets hype, it gets hype. Yeah, that pop at the beginning is bigger, let's say, but their reaction, like afterwards, is the exact same, just in a shorter period of time. Because the trailer or when it comes out, obviously it's going to be a shorter period of time between the trailer when it's intended to come out and when it
Mhm.
releases. But when there's a leak, yes, that initial pop isn't as big, but normally it's pretty fucking big. But then the duration of time is longer, but they keep up their hype for a longer period of time. That's why I say it's the same. Because there's more like yes, there's more hype at that pop here, but the time span is shorter. But for a leak, the time span is longer, but they keep up the hype for for the entirety of the fucking thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, if the hype is longer, but it would destroy the hype, as you would say, then they would fizzle out before the fucking release.
It's like I said, like if we get leaks, if it's something cool, we still gonna be like, hyped for it. But like I said, for me, like once it leaks, like there's no more anticipation, there's no more
There's
surprise.
no more that's what I disagree with. There's
It's like
no more anticipation.
it's like, you know, I know what the is I know what the character is. I know who the character is now. There's no anticipation as far as that aspect. Now I know what you're saying. Like, okay, there's anticipation for like the trailer coming out and the way they play and the way they dress or whatever. I get that, but still, there's no more hype for the anticipation of the character being revealed to everybody. That
Yeah,
is people like that aspect of like the character reveals.
yes, they
You
do.
know
But I'm
that
saying
is a big factor in hype. Like you said, like it can get leaked and people can still be hyped for it, but you know, once I know that whoever's coming out, it's like okay, well, there's no surprise no more.
okay, I agree with there's no more surprise, but to say surprise and hype are not the same things. Surprise is just a way to obtain hype, but that is not hype. That they're not the same thing.
I
Like
disagree. I think surprise plays into the hype.
Well, but yes, yes, it plays into the hype, but they are not the same thing. It is an element to get hype, but hype in and of itself is the anticipation of like something good potentially that has you haven't gotten yet. It's like, but that's not exactly surprise. It's like, because if that's the case, it would be the surprise birthday party example that he said. It would be okay, boom, I got surprised, and then once the surprise has happened, then it's over with. That's why a surprise birthday party example doesn't
Uh,
work, because the surprise birthday party, as soon as I get surprised about it, then the birthday party is happening now. So the event is already here. I am already experiencing it. But for a fighting game, the point of building hype is like, okay, like people play this game because they want a character in the game that they're going to be using for a long period of time. It's
yeah,
essentially like their time investment for why they should play the fucking game. Well, there's a character is not a birthday party. They have a lot of like things about the character that like are you still don't know like at all. And until you see a trailer or something like that, you're not going to know almost anything about them. Like I know that Blue Mary's in the game. I don't know how she looks. I don't know how she's gonna play. I don't know fucking anything about. I don't know anything about her other than it's just like that Blue Mary is gonna be in City of the Wolves. But it's like, I'm still excited about that. Because I'm anticipatory. Like, okay, like how is she gonna look? How are all these things gonna be? And so it's like there are other things to be, hype and excited about because you don't even
yeah,
know what they are. Like,
yeah,
you don't know what they are.
yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. We're gonna have to agree to disagree
I
on
know,
that one.
I know. I just wanted to explain my point. I wasn't
Yeah,
going to convince you, but
yeah.
because the majority are on your side, like I get that. I
Yes,
my
I
like
am the majority.
Yes, I know.
Hey,
Like I'm not
Yeah,
trying to make it seem like what I'm saying is what most people believe. I'm just explaining my point that I think people are full of shit. I
no,
think that like they say these things, but then their actions literally do the opposite. And when you look at like, and then when they do this like lamenting of leaks, like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, why did it get leaked? La, 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 la. Then they're all over the leaks. If you're so fucking sad about the leaks, okay, like if we're going to compare it to like video games when they get leaked, or like story games, sorry, story or any story thing when it gets leaked,
yeah,
yeah, that is way worse. That's completely different from like a fighting game, because if a story gets leaked, then a story is a one-time thing. Once I experience it, I know it.
yeah.
That's that. I can't like, like when I go to the movie and I already know like, oh, I seen this link. Someone posted a video of the fucking like the movie or some shit, or like this
Yeah,
part of the movie. I know because I
How,
saw it.
how
So it's
Infinity
like
War
I have
ends.
seen the entirety of the entire fucking thing, and it's a one-time experience thing. A fighting character is not that at all. There are things that you're going to
yeah,
experience. You have to literally put hours into to actually understand what you're doing with it. It's
yeah,
like it's just like not
yeah,
comparable. Like when people
yeah,
try to compare this to like any
yeah.
leak of anything else, it's like it's completely
Hey,
different. It's
hey,
like
Herbert. They
Yeah.
leaked Armor King. I'm not excited anymore.
I'm not
Been saying the game for
excited.
20 years.
I'll watch the trailer when I feel like it.
Yep.
Man, that's not how people fucking are. Get the hell out of here. It's like
Yeah.
they're little like, and then they're still hype. I never seen these
See,
trailers. I never
you
seen a character get like leaked. Cammy gets leaked, and then when her trailer plays during the Capcom event, everyone's like, "The sad face, boring." Sad. They're like, "Oh, Cammy
yeah.
ass! Oh my
Yeah.
god! Oh!" They're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here." All right,
Yeah.
whatever. Well, it would have been
Yeah.
more. Okay, well,
It
there's
would
no
have
way
been
to
better if I
know.
was surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
a surprise character you've been seeing for 20
Whatever. And,
years.
and, and
I'm
then when
still
they
surprised. I want to be surprised. Like,
when
Hey,
they're surprised when they buy that season pass, they're surprised and it's a fucking piece of shit. It's Clive. That's why I laugh at him. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I laugh at their ass. Ha
Yeah.
ha!
Clive,
You stupid
Clive,
motherfucker.
You
You,
idiot!
look at you
Idiot!
trying to
You
be
over there
happy surprised.
crying and
I
lamenting.
will admit it was funny seeing Clive and like folks getting hurt over
I was
not being
laughing.
Tifa
I
though.
was laughing because I didn't
Like
know about the Tifa shit until the day of. People were telling me,
no,
"Oh yeah, I can't
I
wait for this."
knew. I
I can't.
laughed inside too. I was like,
Everybody was messaging me about that. They were like, "You ready for that Tifa reveal? Oh, they gonna show off." I said, "I was thinking there was a leak." That's how confident people were talking about it. I thought there was a leak. I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
there must be some leak." I was like, "Where the leak at?" I was like, "Where the leak?" They were like, "Oh, well, Harada was talking about. He was talking with Square Enix on Twitter." I said, "That's it." Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's it. I was like, there's this game called Final Fantasy 16, right? That was the latest one. Yeah, but he won't put that in there. No one care about that.
yeah,
Noctis was in the last game, right? When there was a game called Final Fantasy 15, that was the time to be surprised and flabbergasted.
yeah,
Who people asked for back then?
Tifa.
They were like, damn, why isn't Tifa in the game?
yeah,
Here we
Yeah,
go
so
again.
so you a damn fool. Like I
yeah,
was like, wow, I can't believe this. People think Tifa's gonna be in the game. Well, that's wild. That's crazy. And when
yeah.
Clive showed up, that
It was
I
so funny.
wish, damn, I wish I had everybody in the room and say, this is what you fucking get. This is what you fucking
Uh,
get. You're an
all
idiot.
right. So we're gonna move into the next topic. Pretty much what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at the breakdown of the season 2 changes
I
with
heard.
yeah.
I want to say like as far as like talking about Anna like gameplay
Mhm.
because I didn't. I felt like I seen like some 50/50s, but I don't think it was as heavy. Looking at the Anna
I
trailer.
saw some heavy 50/50s from what I was seeing. She got the looked like she got the 50/50 with that launcher, the
Yeah,
fast ass launcher with the with the rocket launcher.
can we
Uh
watch that? Her moves.
oh, let me go back.
So I saw that they did like you can do like what is it called? Heat smash
And
into
stay crouching.
yeah, and then you can go in
Move.
yeah, you can go into crouching from it. I feel like they did that specifically for Anna because they anticipated that Anna players would have been like, well, what's the fucking point of this shit for Anna if she can't go into full crouch? She can't get any fucking mix up like everybody else fucking can from standing. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like that's not
Mhm.
where her mix up comes
Has
from.
that has that changed like what you viewing this trailer?
What?
Like her having like standing like mix ups.
Let me look at it again because I didn't really watch this trailer. Your like frame rate is like really shitty, Herbert.
Yeah, it's for some reason when it plays through Streamlabs, it's not as
Can you
clean.
post the link so that I can just watch it like on my end, and then I can like kind of just talk about it, and then just tell me the timestamp because I need to like because I play Anna, so I can probably comment on on whatever on the
Yeah.
trailer. Um,
Let's
I'll
see.
probably find it. Let me see. Anna Tekken 8. Because it's just the Anna trailer, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
actually, this is the live stream. They just have the annotator in it,
Okay.
but you can find the annotator on its own.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I'm start at the beginning of her trailer. So
I'm gonna,
let's see. Right,
I'm
it
gonna
says Anna Williams and she's fighting Victor. So one thing here, she has this move that looks like while standing two, but it didn't launch. And I remember seeing this and I was like, that's lame. But I know she has while standing two that launches because I saw it later in the trailer. I do remember that. But it looks like she has some version of while standing two that uh allows her to do a crouch dash. And then like when she does a crouch, she has this like rocket launcher move from crouch dash. So that's like very simple. Like this move, both of these moves are not in the game, but she has same type of shit where it's like, oh, I hit you with something, I'm gonna go into a crouch dash, and she can do crouch dash mix up. So like to answer your question, like yeah, she does have some mix up where she can go into a crouch dash and then like do some type of mid like throw mix up, but problem is that it's not like strong because the moves that she does, they either unsafe or you can duck them, or um, you can just stand there, block, and then like break throw. You know, because the throw that comes from the crouch dash is a 1+2 throw, so it's like not really. But she has a low now. She didn't have a low from crouch. Well, she did. Um, it wasn't that good. So it seemed like she has like a decent low. 4 1+2 is the next thing she does in the trailer. It looks like she charges it up and that effect looks like it probably does chip damage.
Yeah.
So okay. I guess like you don't want to block this, but it's super plus. It's always been like super plus if you block this shit. So whatever, he presses a button and then he gets hit, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then the next thing she does is 2-3 into chaos judgment, and then she does the roll. She's always had this shit, you know, and then she does just regular roll, and then she does a 4-3 counter hit. That's like shit she's always been able to do. They just combine together some cool choreographic shit, you
Yeah.
know. She has twin pistons into a new stance. Okay, that's cool. So that's new. I don't think she had that. Her wild stand in one, I don't think she really had one. So like they gave her, it looks like the twin pistons, and she goes into a new stance where she pulls out her rocket launcher. I don't know what the fuck that is, and
Yeah.
she can go into chaos judgment. So she go to the stance and then she can go into chaos judgment because he wakes up and does a low kick, and then activates the chaos judgment, like whatever. And it looks like they gave her a just frame elbow. What is that effect
Yeah.
on the elbow? Like when she does the elbow,
I have
like
no idea.
boom, like
It's
that
still,
that
it's still,
blue
yes.
part.
Yeah.
If they gave her a just frame elbow, that would actually be really cool. I've always kind of wanted something like that because you use it in pressure with her, so that's kind of cool.
I
If
mean,
that's what it is,
I mean, it looked like she got her 50/50s.
You mean from crouching?
From like from crouching, from like her where she the stance where she puts her leg up.
Yeah, but that stuff's like kind of fake. Like, like doing stuff into like judgment and then like all her 50/50s come from like that standing, come from like a stance. And then they're like
Yeah.
really risky. So it's like right now it just seemed like standard Anna shit. Like, okay, like at least in that part. So it's the same shit, which that means that her standing mix up is not that good. Here she does uh full crouch down 4-2, and it does a tailspin or whatever the fuck it's called, tornado. That's a nerf because it just used to launch before. So it was a
Yeah.
launcher. Now it's a fucking tailspin, whatever the fuck. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a nerf. And then she has a new side step low. I've never seen that before. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then she does while standing 3 into. Oh, okay, so counter hit while standing 3 is probably like +14, and then she gets a free hit that goes into the heat engage or whatever. Everybody has that in this fucking game.
Yeah.
So.
And but yeah, Anna, I mean, she looks good to me. I
I
don't
think
play
she looks
Anna, but
nerfed.
she looks I feel
Like when
like
I'm
yeah,
looking at her, she looks nerfed. Like
yeah.
she looks like weaker Tekken. Like Tekken 7 Anna was already a nerfed version of Tekken of Anna.
Mm,
But this looks like a more nerfed version, but like they really want you to like hit this thing so you can get into chaos judgment for free and so that you can just do a canned like thing on them, you know. But
Like-
like a lot of the stuff that like the CPU is getting hit with, a real player would never get hit with this shit. Like they just wouldn't mash right there. They would just not do anything. And then what is Anna going to do? Like they okay, like while stand 3 is just going to get blocked, and then then there you go.
Considering this game, like ain't like a nerf like pretty good because Tekken 8 always been like over the top, like cheap
I mean,
through
not
all the tactics and all that.
it's not good when every other character is fucking retarded.
But
Yeah.
like I don't know, like isn't this like a sign that in season 2 that the characters is gonna be like nerfed and like
No,
more fair
no, I wouldn't
with
take that
Anna?
line because that could just be localized to Anna.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it could be.
according to this this live stream, they said they got about 1,500 changes to make between the characters.
So what?
You know,
What? That doesn't mean
we'll have to-
anything.
yeah, so we'll have to see what those 1,500 changes is. But let's go ahead and get into this. Pretty much Michael Murray and Harada and the team, they're going to kind of explain what their reasoning is for all of the changes that they're making for the game. I'm going to turn my sound back on so we can kind of listen. And then once we hear something that kind of, we want to expand on, then we'll just stop the video and start talking.
It is indeed coming out on that date.
まあ、一個嘘みたいな話があるとしたら、とんでもないボリュームの
bit.
欲しいんですけども、まあ、ここに書いてある通りなんですけども、ヒートシステムの戦術の幅を広げて、キャラクターと、プレイヤーの個性が出しやす
All
い
right,
状態
I
を
got a question.
目指そうっていうのがまず。
Yeah.
They say expand the strategic options of the heat system. So are they
Yeah.
saying that maybe the heat system is gonna be locked behind like bars and all that you earn?
Well, actually, they're going to talk a little bit about it in just a second. I'll let them explain, and then we'll kind of just give my thoughts on it. Leave right here.
もう一つ、3つあるんですけども、2つ目が、ヒートシステムを使った攻防のバランスを見直すっていう点。それと、より、プレイしやすく、遊びやすくするための操作性の改善を行うって、この3
You guys
つを
hear this pretty
方
fun?
針として掲げています。
Yeah.
So there's three major points that we're looking to change. One is to expand the strategic options of the heat system. So everyone just popping heat all of a sudden and doing the same thing is not that interesting. So we're trying to give
What?
players more options to showcase their individuality.
So
Why would they do that? No.
everybody's just popping heat and doing the same thing. It's basically what he said. Everybody's popping heat.
Dang,
and
that's
doing the
crazy.
same thing.
There's no way you could have seen that. There's no way that. Man, that's crazy. I'm so glad that it took us an entire season to finally
year and a
realize
half.
that.
Yes.
Dude. Like, I don't know,
Man,
man. I think they're making
these
mistakes.
developers are really smart. Like I'm so glad. Like, man, I would have never thought of that. That's so true. I just thought of that. That is how people play.
No,
Wow.
dude, they said when they first announced it, this is going to be the most aggressive Tekken ever.
Aggressive.
That doesn't sound aggressive. That sounds
they walk. It sounds like walking back. They walking
are.
back.
They
Talking
are.
about
walking back.
individuality. I want to win. I want to aggress upon my opponent with aggression. Now you're taking it away from me. Okay, I play the game the way you want me to play it, and I'm being punished. GG, Harada.
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And then you remember when all these fucking people were like, "Oh, you're just being a boomer." Tekken needs to evolve. Tekken. What was it? What was the thing they used to say? You're not going to be able to get the like really big numbers if you don't have if Tekken stays this really defensive, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what do you think? Okay, you're saying Tekken 7's that game. I don't agree with you, but let's just say it is. Tekken 7's this super defensive game. What is the game that made Tekken super popular? What is the game that put Tekken on the map? Was it Tag 2? Was it Tekken 6? Was it Tekken 5 DR? Maybe it was Tekken Revolution. No, it was Tekken fucking 7. The game that you are fucking playing that you weren't fucking studying no damn tag to. You weren't there. I
Yep.
know because I didn't win the fucking tournaments for this game. I didn't see your ass in any of these fucking tournaments. I didn't see you on Tekken Zaibatsu. I didn't see you in any of these fucking discords. I didn't see you. So I know you weren't playing this shit. So it's like, bruh, you're saying this, but you
You
were
would know.
interested in this shit. You were interested when Tekken 7 got popular, and it got popular because there was a void in the fighting game ecosystem when Street Fighter 5 was a piece of shit and Marvel was a piece of shit.
And a
So
Kuma.
now there had to be new kings, and
Yeah,
Tekken was the new king because it was the only fighting game at the time that was worth a damn, and it was
Yep.
worth a damn because it stuck to what the fuck it was. Everybody else was trying to change and fucking appeal to casuals. And every time that fucking happens, game dies. And I'm so sick of dealing with fucking morons who can't recognize that. That keep saying, oh, well, the game can't just be what it is. It gotta change. I wish you would change. Stop saying the same
Yeah.
tired shit all the time when it doesn't fucking work. Like, God, people are so retarded. And then they won't follow what they're saying. They'll say all of that. And then whatever. I'm getting into it, but it's like, now, oh man, we really want to showcase the players' individuality.
Cross getting heated, man.
Well, because
getting
people are
heated.
fucking stupid, and then it's like the developers respond to that. They respond to that, and then they're stupid, but even an idiot feels pain. It's just that he will go through the pain more than a smart person was. Smart person be like, whoa, hey, even real smart person might be able to learn from someone else's pain. But most people aren't like that. They have to experience the pain over and over and over and over again, and it has to be painful. So they say these stupid things that I know they're not going to like in the end. I'm like, you're not going to like this but you're gonna have to figure it out after you've experienced it. That's what makes it fucking suck. Like, that's what makes it shitty because everyone has to lose because of this. It's not just you. It's like everyone is going to have to go through this. And so it's fucking annoying. So then after everyone's like, oh, this fucking sucks. It didn't have to be like this. Now we have to go back because they're responding to you. Like, as much as I'm calling Harada and Michael Murray, oh, these guys are so implying that they're idiots. Really, they're just responding to what you fucking morons were saying at the end of Tekken 7. Man, this game too defensive. Man, I don't that. You are not a top level player. Why are you comparing yourself to fucking Arslan Ash and Nee and fucking Rangchu and all these fucking people? You're not them. You're not playing the game at their level. You're not playing the game like them. Like,
I've said that in one of my previous videos where Arslan Ash is arguably one of the greatest defensive players on the planet. It's like him being great at just playing the game is the reason why all these people complained, and now we get this shit in Tekken.
Imagine the game getting nerfed
and it's like
because you're good. That's
it's
crazy.
not fair. Yeah, I mean, no, life is not fair, but still,
but this was one of those very avoidable scenarios. It just wasn't. It's like because everybody wants to funnel. First of all, everyone funneled into Tekken, and everybody wanted to be involved. Everybody wanted to get in, and everyone's talking about this, and it's just like, I don't know, man. The Tekken has to suffer because Arslan Ash is good. Somebody who I would never see or play in my lifetime unless pure chance on the internet.
There's always a disconnection between what people say and what people fucking do. You have to pay attention to what people do because if you just look at what people say, they will say it with all certainty and veracity.
Yeah.
And you better not say anything to the contrary. You better not say, hey, look, man, look. Like, the more you try to point it out, the more you're going to drive them into that corner of certainty. It's you just have to sit there and let them stew in it for a year silently. And then when they come to their own conclusion, silently in their own mind, They will stand right beside you and be like, "Yeah, man, I hate this fucking game." Be like, "Weren't you?" Shut up! I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Now
Let me be quiet.
I want to ask Grand, do you believe that's the case for Tekken 8 where like it seemed like everybody was doing the same things over and over again?
Yeah, like you pop heat like every round you pop heat and it got old. But I wanted to be to where like I don't know, some rounds you don't like do enough to earn your heat and you don't get heat because that's like a special powerful thing you get into. So
Yeah.
yeah, everybody was doing the same thing, popping heat just to pop it and all that.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Cross? You think is that an accurate representation of like what
Yes,
you see in matches?
absolutely, 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 100%. This is Heat is worse than Soul Charge and Soul Calibur. Like
Yeah.
I never thought I would ever say that. Soul Charge and Soul Calibur 6 is cancer, but at least it didn't happen all the time because you had to earn it. You had to at least earn Soul Charge in Soul Calibur 6. I mean,
Yeah.
they did give it to you for fucking free when you lost 2 rounds. So it's not like it just wasn't cancer,
Yeah.
but like you at least had to earn it and it went away fast. Like
Yeah.
like like it was cancer, but it was only cancer for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It wasn't cancer for like people stay in Heat in this game for fucking ever and they automatically have it.
Yeah. And then you can like hit people and then it will stop and
Yeah. I,
yeah.
I I remember like before this game came out, I was thinking to myself like, man, do you really want to do like a heat engager at the beginning of the round because you're kind of using your heat early, and like then like they can heat on top of that, and then
Yeah.
you're dead. That shit don't matter. None of that thinking like that fucking matters because chances are, if I duck under you with Shao Yu and I do Phoenix 2-1, or I get you with fucking something I do I don't know, forward 4, I'm plus 14, then I get back 4-1 and I go into fucking heat drive. I have already taken a fucking huge chunk of your fucking life and I'm
Yeah.
running at you with a 50-50 mix up that is brain dead
Yeah.
that if you get hit with, I'm killing you.
It's
If
over.
you block it, you're taking chip and I'm getting my life back and I get another fucking turn
Yeah.
to do it. It's like you are just in a super fucked situation for easy. And it's like, all right, well, you can go into heat if you want to, but you got like 3 life left.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
really care that much.
It's so crazy, bro. That heat shit is so
Yeah.
crazy. What
You know
what
what?
about you, Josh? Do you think that's an accurate representation of like what they said? Like people
It's
doing the same thing?
it's very accurate because I did an experiment. That's when I streamed the game. Because even back then I was like, you know what, I want to play no heat Tekken. If you look at those videos, I have a thumbnail of Austin Powers when he was frozen. I think in the second movie or whatever. It
Yeah.
was like no heat Tekken. I want to play cold hard Tekken. And I had rules because obviously you can't play Tekken without activating heat because your key moves are tied to the bullshit.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, okay, so the best I can do is if I activate heat, immediately expend it on the same move. And I was using Reina. Her down for 1-2 is like Heihachi's down for 1-2, little heat. And so I got so much mileage just doing no mix up because these people were so fucking afraid of what I was gonna do. The best mix up was no mix up. So every time I activated heat, because like sometimes I did it just to get rid of it so I could play the rest of the game without it. And sometimes I forgot about it. I'm like, oh shit, I just activated heat. Let me get rid of it. Bam, blah, blue, bam, just blowing up everybody. And then these guys are trying to like use heat. And then, we talked about it before. Last time Tekken was on the Tekken triangle.
Yeah.
It was like if you use heat, you can beat the I think it was like you beat the Tekken 8 shit. The Tekken 8 shit defeats the traditional shit, all that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Tekken 8. It's Tekken 8 shit will beat normal Tekken player shit. Like if they're trying to be like defensive, I'm gonna duck and I want like backdash and be defensive and blah blah blah. Playing Tekken 8, the Tekken 8 shit will blow them the fuck up because at the very worst, they're gonna block all this shit and get hit by all these stray hits and you're gonna take all this chip damage from them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like from them just blocking and dealing with it well, and they're gonna have to deal with that shit for a long ass time.
Mhm.
So it's like, so it will beat that. But then what beats Tekken 8 is playing like an absolute fucking nut, throwing out lows all the fucking time and hop kicks and fucking, just playing like a fucking nut, like not thinking, not no
Yeah.
defense, no nothing. That shit will beat Tekken 8 because Tekken 8 it's not designed. It's designed to beat a lot of shit, but it ain't designed to beat lows. It ain't designed to beat throws. It ain't designed to like. So like, if you're just going in, like it will kill the Tekken 8 shit because you won't get a chance to actually do it. But what kills all that shit is playing Tekken.
Yeah.
If you play
Now,
Tekken
like,
and they try to just be a moron, backdash, move around, whip punish, block punish, that shit will kill them. So it's so with Josh, it's funny. He's like not playing the triangle, but the other players, they instinctually understand it. So so he's playing Tekken, and they're like, everyone does Tekken 8, right? Everyone does Tekken 8. So I gotta beat him to the punch. It's coming, so I'm gonna start playing like a moron, and then he kills him because of it. Like, boom, okay, I kill you because of it. And they're like, "What the fuck? This guy really ain't playing Tekken 8." So I'm gonna start playing Tekken, and then he accidentally activates Tekken 8. Like, oh damn, my bad. Whoops, let me just spin this shit. And so they're just confused. They're like, I don't understand what's fucking happening to me. It's like,
So Grand, you what were you about to say, Grand?
Like, what would help against the Tekken 8 shit is if they made like movement like meta again, just like Tag 2, where you can like just sidestep, like you can use the movement to like get away and like sidestep out of like stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So you guys remember when I was saying, like, I feel like I don't see any styles in this game where you see JDCR and he had a style. You see me or Nobi, you see a style.
You can tell by watching them play.
You can tell by watching them play. And I said in this game in Tekken 8, it seems like everybody's playing the same. And this right here lets me know that I'm right.
Oh yeah, they just admitted to it.
They just admitted to it. Like, everybody's playing the same. There's no style. Everybody's wilding out.
So anyone that says, when you say that shit, I mean, now people wouldn't dare to disagree.
Yeah.
But back then when they were like, that's not true, you just saying that bad. Well, they saying that. The devs themselves have come to the conclusion that is how people are fucking playing the game.
It is so crazy, bro.
So
but let's go ahead and move forward 1 second.
And so, point 2, reevaluate the offensive and defensive balance of the heat system for all characters. And the last one is improve controls for a more accessible gameplay experience. And we're going to be delving into more details with this.
はい。で、この星に立った、経緯としては、シーズン1の問題点としてちょっと捉えていったものが2つありまして、ヒートシステムを使った攻めが、結構パターン化されることが多くて、プレイヤーの個性が出にくい状態になっていたっていうのが一つ。で、あともう一つが、ヒート発動中、ちょっとオフェンス側のメリットが非常に強くて、一方的な試合展開が多くなってしまったっていう、ちょっとアグレッシブをコンセプトに掲げたんですけども、そこが強すぎたっていう、この2つを、ちょっと、開発としては問題視して、シーズン2ではそこに手を入れることにしました。
And so, Nakatsu is giving more details about it. So, like I kind of briefly said, one of the major problems or issues we saw with Season 1 was that it became a routine for all players doing something similar, regardless of the character, regarding the heat system. So we wanted to kind of change it up. And then also the system for heat, although the concept of the game is aggressive, it was a little bit too much one-sided offense at many times during battles.
What? At least, no. You know what? I will give them that. You know how many developers just would not admit they were wrong. They would never come out and actually say that they were wrong.
I was gonna say that too. Like, I respect that they came out and said that okay, yes, there is something wrong with this system. But what makes me so mad, we have been saying this
Yes.
from the very
Yes.
beginning,
Yes.
before the game release. We've been
Yes.
saying this, we've been saying
Yes.
it, we've been saying it. And people have been getting on their ass saying, okay, no, you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with the system.
Yeah, no,
this is
Don't bring your
this is the best.
negativity.
Yeah,
Stop
this is
talking shit
this is
about the
just how the
game.
new. This is just how new games are,
the
and
best.
like, oh, you know, just gotta roll, get with the times. You know, like no one likes all that boring. The defense is boring. Okay, Ba-dee-da-da. But you know, fuck them. They're idiots. People are stupid. Like the fact that they had the like maturity. You know how many like devs, people in general, but devs that would never do that. They would double down, or
Yep.
they would silently change
They
something.
was doubling
Hell,
down.
they
They was
were.
doubling down.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
You're
They
right.
were. I
You're
agree.
right.
They made these mistakes, but how many of them? How many developers make that mistake and then they just do that until they run their game in the fucking ground, or they do it until oh fuck, like like you have to change damn near developers, and then the new developers will come in and do something different or something like that. It is very, very, very few developers that's like, ah, we fucking up. Okay, you know what? And they'll say they fucking up. I have to at least give them that. They may actually, in how what they do, they might continue to still fuck it up. They may not in action do what they're saying right now, but I have to
Yeah.
at least give them something for publicly saying that. Like I like because you almost never ever hear that. Like the last time I remember hearing that was from fucking Iga with fucking Bloodstain.
Yep.
We're doing tonight. We was like,
Yeah.
yeah, this shit
You
fucking
guys were
sucks.
talking about. Yeah, you guys were telling me about that.
I gotta
And
fix this.
that's like the best. That's what sold the game for me. Because first, I didn't know what it was, didn't care. But that whole like segment where he's like, "Yeah, man, this game does look like ass. Let me show you how we improved it. You guys are right. This shit does look like doo doo." Yeah, he even had the thing that said doo doo graphics, nice graphics, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's pretty cool." It's
Does
like
Sonic 1 count?
Sonic.
yeah. Yeah.
Sonic
Oh
1
yeah,
was-
yeah, 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 yeah. The
Sonic.
movie. Oh, okay. I was like, the game? I was like,
Sonic 1 the movie. I'm sorry. I should have clarified.
Yeah.
Sonic 1 the movie.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
definitely,
God.
definitely. Yeah, actually, that's probably a more modern example. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Ooh, that was so terrible, boy. That
Yeah.
first Sonic. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why I
But
was like, well,
Yeah.
that's so it's over. It's all ogre now.
but so the devs say that the heat system or the system in general was kind of one-sided offense. Let's go.
Yes.
はい。というわけでは一つずつちょっと詳しく、動画も含めて、用意したので説明していきますね。
And so now we're going to go into each individual item and have some footage to accompany that.
あ、ごめんごめん。ちょっと、パワポの文字がごめん。文字だけちょっとずっと出してなきゃいけないんで、海外用に英語になってるんですけど、ごめんなさい。日本の方はできるだけ中津の言葉に集中して聞いてもらえると、助かります。ごめんね。はい。
That was just a comment to the Japanese audience that, the slides are in English, so please listen to Nakatsu's his explanation.
はい、すみません。日本人の方、ちょっと私のじゃあ喋る言葉に集中してもらって、まず、ヒートバースト、ごめんなさい、ヒートシステムを使った戦略の幅を広げるっていうのはどういうことかっていうと、
That's crazy that they don't have a Japanese version for the Japanese people who are watching. That should show you the influence that Westerners have over Namco Bandai.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
good.
That's not good.
That's bad.
That means
Well-
that they're abandoning the Japanese audience because they
Now-
could easily just have like a Japanese stream that's going on where because you can have two OBSs or something like that. They can have the same, like they don't have to have different streams going on. They can still have these two over here, but for the Japanese side, they have it in Japanese because PlayStation, all the other PlayStation Experience and all that stuff, they do the same thing,
Now,
but they just
now,
neglected it.
now you're probably right on that, but let me just throw something out. Could it be that, English is like probably the most spoken language in the world?
So, what is that's
So
irrelevant?
it's a Japanese game studio.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that it's a Japanese game studio. It's like it's irrelevant because, okay, sure, it is the most spoken language in the world. Japanese never was anywhere close to being that, anyways. But the fact that he knew that he had to apologize to a Japanese audience shows that the people who are watching this stream are a big portion of them are Japanese, probably the majority. I just can't say for sure. But we can both agree that it's a gigantic number. So isn't it kind of strange that you have a gigantic number of people who you know are going to be tuning into this game, can't even fucking read, and they have to rely on someone telling them, and then everybody in this fucking room is Japanese and they're speaking Japanese?
That's pretty fucked up,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, like, why am I even fucking explaining this?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, like there should be a separate stream that's Japanese that has the slides in Japanese, and they're over there looking at that, and it could be streamed at the same time from the Japanese Namco Bandai channel, and that's that. Like the PlayStation, Xbox, all these other fucking things, they do the same fucking thing. It would cost no more extra other than the slides, remaking the slides in Japanese.
Yeah.
They would have done anyway,
But
because, you know.
yeah,
that's a good
but
point.
they don't care. These are the little details that people ignore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whatever.
Let's move on.
一部キャラクターの固有の構えから、ヒートスマッシュとヒートバーストを出せるようにして、いろいろ戦術、攻め方の幅を広げたり、コンボが広がるようにするような変更を加えます。
So one of the major changes we're making is going to be, many characters have their unique stances, and we've made it so that they can activate the heat smash and heat burst within these stances to give them more options, but also it lets you explore more opportunities with combo routes, etc. as well.
はい。で、この後、まず動画1本、その、説明に対応した動画をお見せしますので、
これ2点目は、
じゃあ2点目も一応言っちゃいましょうか。2点目も、じゃあ2つ目も、
Yeah, what you got?
Like, I'm looking at this and it's not really, you just able to do like heat smash and heat burst from like a stance. It's not really saying that, heat is gonna be locked behind like a meter or anything. That's what I'm like looking for.
Yeah,
I think it's I think heat is gonna pretty much work the same outside of like being able to do it out of stances and things like that.
Well, I want to see what the rest of they're gonna say, because this is just point number one. Like expand this. Yeah.
いますね。戦略の幅を広げる、変更の2つ目はですね、今までヒート発動技をヒットしたら、走っていて立ち状態しかなかったところに、レバーを下方向ですね、1、2、3の方向に入れておくことで、しゃがみ帰着っていってしゃがんだ状態で相手に接近した状態を作れるっていう変更を加えます。
And so just to touch on the second one as well before we show you footage of exactly how this works. So up until now, once you've done a heat engager, you kind of automatically run towards your opponent and you're in a standing position when you're trying to pressure them, right? And you couldn't start from a crouching position at that time. But this time, please excuse, this is the Japanese notation. 1 would be down back, 2 would be down, and 3 would be down forward. So you can use any of these inputs to then start from a crouching position after the heat engager.
はい、この変更はアンナ使いであればしゃがみ2択が強力だったというところで、しゃがみからの2択が武器のキャラクターにとってはかなり面白い変更になるかなと思ってます。
And for example, Anna was quite strong with her mix-ups when you include crouching and standing. So this allows her to kind of carry that into Tekken.
動画行きましょうか。
はい、では動画の方行きましょう。
Yeah.
はい、これザフィーナなんですけども、構えを取った後にこのようにヒートバーストが出せます。
So you can see that Zafina is going through her stances, but she also has access to heat burst.
はい。で同じくヒートバーストの後に構えを取ってヒートスマッシュが出せているので、攻めの、戦術の幅だったり空中コンボのレシピも結構変わってきます。
And you can see she also can access the heat blast or
ヒートスマッシュ。
heat smash. A heat smash inside
They
the
still get the
the
fucking
stance that she
terms
has. So
confused.
this
So
allows her
okay, I'm
to
glad it's not just fucking me.
You say
Heat
what?
burst, heat smash, whatever the fuck, yeah, whatever. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was asking what were you guys saying?
I think I don't know.
No, I said that change ain't really like that impressive to me. Like
Ah,
I
it's
agree.
like, all right, you got different ways of doing it, like a combo. Okay.
yeah.
Well, like if it's whatever the fuck it's called, like heat smash, heat engager, heat whatever the fuck, the one where you get armor in front of it, then now you can do that shit in a stance, which increases offense.
Yeah.
Because if I can go into AOP and then you would do something that would hit me in AOP, then I can just throw my AOP armor hits heat smash move. And that means that I you see what I'm saying? That's a big
Yeah,
deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
you can do that cheap shit from stance.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is cheaper.
Yeah, even cheaper. So right now it looks more like more offense to me, but we'll see what else they say.
Yeah.
have various different options, but also different combo recipes as well.
はい、これが、一部構えの、キャラクターが、構え中にヒートバーストだったりヒートスマッシュが出せるといった変更になります。
So basically, not just Safina, but many characters with the stances will have access to these in these stances.
Man, y'all really
Yeah,
don't know how to
that
handle
shit-
the finger stance.
Yeah, it seemed like
Yeah.
like Tevin was saying, it seemed like really, really strong if like you give that to like Xiao Yu and she's AOPing under stuff and going into
Yeah.
heat and then punishing you with the heat.
Yeah. Like let's say I do something like let's say I go into AOP and you don't do anything. Like you're just waiting for me to like maybe do something negative, And then I do like up forward for AOP, which is, if you block that, it's your turn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not much I can really fucking do about that, right? I can
Yeah.
press a button, but I'm gonna get hit on counter hit. Like, so I have to try to escape out of fucking. I either have to do two of them so that if you press a button, you'll get hit on counter hit, or I have to hope you won't press anything and then leave, right? But what if I could do that and then you're like, oh, I know he ain't gonna do another one, so I'm gonna press a button. Then I'm like, ooh, armor, ooh.
Well, we
Yeah.
well, we don't know
And
if
then
it,
if you blocked it, if you did nothing right,
yeah.
they're plus on block. So I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, and you're like, oh yeah, that's gonna be my way to get
Yeah.
out. You know.
Yeah, it's
So,
gonna be like crazy if
so more offense is what
Yeah.
it seems like. More and more offense.
yeah.
All right.
ヒート発動技のしゃがみ帰着の映像を、お見せしたいと思います。こちら、アンナでやってます。
The next footage is going to be an example of staying in the crouch stance
まずは、
after the heat engager.
はい、まず普通に走ったパターンと、こちらが下方向にレバー入れると、このように姿勢を、低い状態にして、
That's so
相手
cheap.
にしゃがんだ状態で近づくことができるようになります。
So the first one you can see doing the heat engager and approaching opponent.
I wonder if that low is a natural combo.
I'm sure it is. Of course it is, Herbert.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
You don't gotta ask that.
That'd be kind of silly.
Yeah, what the hell? Why would it not
Standing.
be a natural combo?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's
and
that
then also the
purple
crouch
shit you put
version,
on them, though?
giving her more strategic options.
You say what? Cross?
See that purple shit that Anna puts on Nina
No, I
after the
didn't see that.
combo? Yeah.
Let me see.
はい、なんで、立ち状態で近づくか、
Hey y'all, my mic
しゃ
is
がみ
about
状
to
態
die
選
soon.
択し
So
て、
if y'all don't hear me say nothing for a long time,
Okay, it's all good.
近づいて、攻めを継続して2択を仕掛けるといったような、戦術の幅が広がるようになってます。
So it allows characters to apply pressure to their opponent and have more options.
はい、
Yeah, I see.
That's purple?
はい、では次の、
そうですね。次行きましょう
What's
か。
that?
you know what worried me?
No.
2つ目ですね。
Like I wonder if they, tested all these changes in like a location test with all the like
Of course
top
not.
players to get like they input, like knee in them. Like
No.
Cause they used to do location
Yeah,
tests.
those days
Like,
are over.
tag team.
Yeah, that's the big issue with Tekken 8. You know, it wasn't in arcades, so
Fighting games in general, none of them did that.
yeah.
Like the new fighting games nowadays, you can't name one that did that.
That's
Like the best thing that they do is an online beta. That's what they do now. They don't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
thinking
So
of
like
that.
with them making like season 2, like I don't know if they did like a secret sessions or anything like that to like.
I
I'm
can
pretty
almost
sure it was tested in some kind of way,
internally
but
with the people that they have there,
yeah, but
with
not on a
Mishima Star or some shit like that. But no, like
yeah.
they did not
Cause
invite fucking like JDCR or Knee or they're not doing that shit no more.
Yeah.
damn.
はい、続いてですが、攻防バランスの見直しといったことになります。
The next is about the reevaluation of offensive and defensive balance.
Reevaluate offensive and defensive balance. Let's hear this. Let's hear him out.
はい、こちら、やることは、主に、主要なトピックを抜き出してますが、一つ目が、ヒート状態での削りダメージを全体的に、少し減少させて、さらに、ヒートダッシュを使って、ヒートダッシュをガードした際に、上乗せで削りダメージが多かった部分に対して、テコ入れをして、
So I thought that was really cheap. This right here changed certain characters' heat activation moves to power crush properties available from standard state to standard power crush moves. That was so cheesy, especially with Victor. Oh my god. But let's go.
減少するように変更しております。
And so this is something that people have been asking for a bit. We decided to reduce the chip damage during the heat state overall. And also, when
wait,
you
can
would
you pause
perform a
it?
heat dash and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to read that again. Change certain characters' heat activation moves with power crush properties available from standing state to standard power crush moves. So they're
Yeah.
changing them to a standard power crush move.
Yeah, and it is just, they won't be the power crush move and go into heat.
Yes. Okay. Oh,
that shit
so
with Victor was so stupid.
okay, hold on, wait. Let me make sure I
And
understand.
sometimes I think they led to combos too.
Yeah, that shit right there was cheap.
Available.
It's like the move power crushing was already good in itself.
Right.
But then it will
For it
also
to go
go into heat.
Yeah, for it to go into heat too, and then you get a mix up and everything. It's like
Yeah, it's just retarded. Okay, I see. All right, let's go.
rush down your opponent, it would result in a lot of the recoverable health gauge. So this has been adjusted as well.
はい、これなぜこうしたかというと、やっぱりヒートダッシュはヒートスマッシュよりかなり使い勝手が良くって、削りを加味したセットプレーが非常に強く、体力をかなり減らした後に、ヒートダッシュで仕掛けて、2択で終わりっていったような展開が非常に多かったので、ヒートダッシュの、削りダメージだったり、ヒート時の全体的な削り量を抑えて、もう少し駆け引きがしっかり続くような、狙いでこのような変更を加えています。
あくまでヒート時でってことですね。
そう、ヒート時の全体的な削りダメージを減らすっていうのと、ヒートダッシュを使った削りかつその後の2択でフィニッシュみたいなところを少し緩和したかったのでこのような変更を加えてます。
One of the reasons is that it really stood out that someone would overwhelm their opponent to just have a very impressive offense, and then they would activate the heat to not do the heat smash, but they would choose to use the chip damage a lot, and then kind of when your opponent only has a little bit left to rush them down with a heat dash to have only a little sliver of life. And that was just, we felt...
That's the way you fucking designed it, idiots.
No,
too oppressive. And so that's why these changes were
it's
made.
crazy, like how people just played the game in the most effective, obvious way.
Man,
It's almost like we forced them to. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
はい、そしてもう一つですね、こちらの攻防っていった意味での、防御面で、非常に強かったパワークラッシュと、攻撃面で非常に強いヒート発動技っていうものが混在した技が、例えばニーナとかアズセナに代表されるような立ち状態からパワークラッシュ付きのヒート発動技で切り返しを狙ってそのまま攻めに行けるっていったものを、今回から、シーズン2からそこを見直そうということで、パワークラッシュ技のみに、なるように変更を加えています。
And someone's talking about this in the comments, but another change is that some of the power crush moves that were also heat engagers, like Nina's forward both punches, and also Azusena had one as well. We have reevaluated that because it allows them to not only change the tide of the battle, but then to actually be a little bit too strong in the offensive. So they have been reverted to just being power crush moves.
ちなみに、こ
Why is your
れでニーナが良くなった
Your
あの、
disappointment is showing.
You say what?
Your disappointment is showing. Come
Bro,
on, dude.
I hate the way he's fucking laughing like he's like a fucking demon or something. He did design this shit for us to go through. It's like, I don't know. Like I don't understand how you guys couldn't see how this shit was already fucked up from the get-go.
Yeah, I think
But
it's just
they turned their back on what worked, tried to do something new, and it was fucked up. But whatever.
別に俺マスターカップで俺がニーナにボコられたからでは全く関係ないからね。それあれはジョークだから。
いや、俺だってニーナ使ってた。
そうあれはジョークだから。真に受けてる人いるから本当に。そんなことでそんな調整し
But
な
I
い。
was afraid that some people were saying that because he lost to a Nina Master Cup that happened. That's not the case though. There's no way we could have done it that quick anyways. So
はい。
じゃあ映像見ましょうか。
まず、ちょっと、こういった、変更を受けるキャラクターは、他にヒート発動技を用意したり、新たな攻めができるような、プランも含めて調整を加えてますので、こちらちょっとパッチノートだったり、次回の、配信の時に触れられたら触れようかな。
ただ長くしただけじゃないよっていう。
yeah.
もちろんです。はい、
So it was, too strong in these instances is why the heat engager aspect was removed. But they do get a heat engager added to a separate move that's not so overwhelming. So it's not just a down nerf. It is a nerf in essence, but they do get some other things.
はい、じゃあ、こちらも動画2つありますので、1つずつお見せします。
So we have a few videos to show you how this works now.
こちらヒートダッシュの削り量ですね。今15って出てますが、シーズン1は19減ってました。
So this is just about the chip damage. It says 15 in this current instance, but it was 19 previously
はい
in。season 1.
で、さらに相手が0時状態の時には、こちらシーズン1では、
That's a big ass
12
chunk
減
of
ってたんですけども、
damage.
見てもらうと分かるように、0時状態で同じような攻撃だっても、チップダメージ4、3分の1になっています。
And you can see that in season 1,
You say what, Tevin?
It went from they're like, yeah, so it says 15 right here, but it was 19 damage. It's like the fact that you thought that blocking a 4-4-2 from an opponent is worth them taking Herbert. What is 2 divided by 18?
2 divided by 18?
I mean 18 divided by 2, sorry.
That is what, 9?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. No, right. You have 180 health, right?
Mm.
So 19 is pretty much like 20. So I mean, so this takes about a 20th of your health. You may say, well, that's not a big fucking deal. It's a big deal when you
It's a
block
big
it.
deal.
Yeah, it's a big
you
deal when
successfully defended yourself. Here's your
yeah,
reward.
it's a big deal when like we're talking about a fighting game where getting hit 20 times will kill you.
Yeah. Like
And then you block one of those and you still take it as if you like, okay, all right. So it going from 19 damage to 15 damage to me is like bullshit. It's like
so
so fucking wet.
15
That shit should be 5 damage.
so standard throws is like 35 damage.
40, I think it's like 40.
40 is 40 now.
I think it's I don't think it was 35.
I remember
think
it
was
used to
40.
be like 35 for standard throws.
You might be right. Like I think I thought it was 40 though.
But like
But I
2
might
of those, if it's like if it was doing 15 damage, 2 of those is almost like a throw.
Yes. Right.
You get
And
hit
so
with
the
two blocked moves, it's like getting thrown.
yeah. So
That
it's
is
like
crazy.
so that's what I'm saying. This shit needs to be if you're gonna have chip damage, it's just dumb in general. But like the fact that you think 19 to 15 is like some big significant fucking thing to talk about is ridiculous. It's like that's nothing, dude. Like I would only notice it if you pointed it out.
Yeah,
That's
it
why he
is.
had to point it out.
Yeah.
You know, I
Because
know
you wouldn't have noticed it.
Tekken has always had chip damage, right? Whenever you
Well,
do the key charge,
yeah,
like,
just when you
yeah.
how
just
come
when
it
you do key
isn't?
charge.
How come it
But
isn't
that was
like
like the ultimate. That was like the ultimate risk.
Yeah,
I know,
You can
but
do
I'm
that.
saying, why isn't that the
the thing,
scale?
why didn't they take an existing mechanic and then actually try to make it useful? Like try to find a way for people to try to use it more? Well, that would be, like, using like, trying not to like fit into trends. That's something SNK would do. Like, hey man, let's take this fucking mechanic and make it a mechanic. Let's make it more
Yeah.
useful or something. Instead of let's just add in scrub shit. Like to get new players. Let's just add in scrub shit. Like, no, taking a pass mechanic that legitimately is probably not that great, like and redesigning it in a way that could actually like, we see it more often a little bit, it'd be more effective, it'd have a more, utility. Nah.
Yeah, it's
So that is like nothing. That is
yeah.
the Europe I am playing so far, what I've seen so far. This ain't shit. I would never play this game. I'm glad I didn't watch this. This
Well,
was would be a
let's
waste of
watch
my
more.
fucking
Maybe
time.
it'll change your mind, Cross.
Yeah, no way. Their
There's only
ideology is still the same.
there's only one thing they
Like
could
they're
do.
not changing the damn thing,
Like,
really.
you know what? I'm surprised. Well, I guess I can't say I'm surprised, but one thing I kind of wish would happen is somebody just like mods the game and just takes out heat completely. Like, because
It
like
might happen.
when I think about it, I remember Smash Brothers did this. It wasn't like a mechanic, but they segregated the play styles. Like, there's like Smash Bros for glory and Smash
Yeah.
Bros for fun. And
Yeah.
for fun, items were
Oh.
activated. And
Yeah.
for glory, it was no items, only tournament stages. And I'm like, if only we had that in this game. Like, I would play this game if they like, look, man, heat is just bananas. No amount of balancing is really gonna make it feasible. So why don't we just have a section for heat fags and then a section for non-heat fags?
Well,
That way, everybody can kind of get what they want. Like, you can
that's
still
what
play your
Street Fighter 6 did. Like, we're
yeah.
gonna make this character creation shit, but it's the fuck over there in the battle hub. You gotta specifically go to it. You have to go into this fucking circle where they're all at, and you gotta play there. You can't sit on any of the cabs. You can't interact with the rest of the community. You do what the fuck you're doing over there.
Them
Fucking
folks be
throwing
on it,
Hadouken
boy. They be on
and-
that shit.
Yeah, and they are on it, right? Like they love that shit.
I'll be right
But
back.
it actually
Alright.
keeps both communities separate from each other. They don't mix, and that's how they should be. Because when they begin to mix, everyone loses. You know,
Yeah.
and so it's like, yeah, Street Fighter 6, they did that, and I think that's like they But in this game, it's like, yeah, it's kind of bullshit, and I feel like everything that I'm being shown right now is it's like they're trying to address it like through their voice, but they really don't want to do it. Like I
Yeah.
can feel it. Like this is just based on like I can feel that they are admitting wrong, but they don't think they're wrong. They think they're right, and they are like they really don't want to do it. They're like,
Yeah.
maybe if we
It's
just tone it
like
down a bit, they'll accept it. It's like you don't get it.
it's
You
like
still don't get it.
we were right, but we just need to tweak it a bit to
Yeah, maybe it was a little too much. Maybe we just turned the knob down a bit. It's like they got the wrong song on.
yeah.
Like, no, you got reggae on, man. We don't want reggae. Like, you need to put on something else. Turning the knob down will just make it so that I can endure the reggae a little bit longer, but it ain't gonna make me want reggae. It's just gonna make me say, "Damn, I wish fucking I don't know, rap was on or some shit."
Yeah.
Like anything else. I don't want this shit, man. You got this fucking reggae rap in here. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. That's why I'm like, I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah.
On this
But
game.
Kuroki Samurai said Sad that Tekken is barely Tekken now. It used to be the most fun and hype fighting game of my childhood. No scrubby mechanics, just pure ass whoopings and fundamentals. Exactly. Facts.
Yeah, like like I don't want to be exactly like there should be no anime. It should be all about martial arts all the time. Blah blah blah. No, it's not exactly that either. But this is going too far. I feel like Soul Calibur 6 did the same fucking thing. You know, like yeah, characters being anime and characters, Nightmare having a giant sword and saying "Souls, come to me," and like that shit's cool. I want that shit. It ain't all about just the sword fighting and shit.
Yeah.
But when you start having characters stop in time, when you start having characters shooting lasers across the fucking screen and they got mix up lasers across the
The
screen,
orbs. Orbs
yeah,
and
orbs and throwing axes across the screen and teleporting and shooting you and putting up a laser shield. It's like I thought I was playing Soul Calibur. I'm sorry. I thought this game was kind of pretty much about I got a stick and you got a fucking sword. You know, I practice wushu, Chinese martial arts, and you practice caveman axe swinging. I thought
yeah.
that was pretty much it. I didn't know you were gonna be summoning the devil and fucking, grabbing me and doing all this crazy shit, that's ignoring the
Too
fucking
ugly.
game. It's like, and
Too ugly.
that's what Tekken is getting into. It's like, well,
Yeah.
in real life, Nina would just shoot you. It's like I don't care what she would do in real life.
Yeah. And
The
they
game
just
is separate from what they would do in the lore.
yeah, in the cutscenes. Like they're
Yes,
bringing all the cutscene stuff into the game now.
into the
Like,
game, and it's
yeah.
like it's fine if they animate outside of the gameplay, but when they are animating in the gameplay, there's a reason why 3D fighting games aren't built like that because it
Yeah.
ignores the game. Okay, like not to like completely derail, but when VF3 came out, like that was the first 3D fighting game to have actual evasive lateral movement.
Yeah.
Like where you can sidestep and it will actually evade something instead of
Yeah.
just positioning you, right? Um, and they had a button. It was called the evade button in that game, right? And it
Yeah.
was extremely strong. That is actually the first time a game even had Korean backdash. That's where it came from.
Really? I didn't know
Yes,
that.
yes. If you ever look at gameplay of VF3 TV, most of the time the characters are moving around. No other VF game looks like that. That's why it's the weird one out because all of a sudden when you introduce movement that is extremely strong to a 3D fighting game, it no longer becomes about like RPS, like how like VF is very much like a guessing like RPS, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in VF3, it is much, 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 much less about that. Because the movement is so good, you can use movement to leave the rock paper scissors thing. I could hit you with something, and like you could block something. And you could say, "Well, I know he's going to block, so I'm going to grab him." Right? Then I could just
Hmm.
evade out of your strike. I could evade out of your grab, and if you blocked, I'm safe. I'm still evading and canceling my evade into like safe things. So you're going to do the same thing too, right? So then that's what we're both doing, waiting for an opening. Um,
Yeah.
so when the next VF game came out, VF4, they severely nerfed movement. They
Oh
severely nerfed
no.
movement, even though movement is still extremely strong in VF4. That's how strong it was in 3. It was still really strong in 4, but they severely nerfed it because they're like, we want you guys to play the fucking game. We don't want you to escape the triangle system
Yeah.
because if you escape the triangle system, then you are just playing this movement game, right? And so every VF game after it, they kept nerfing and nerfing the movement until they essentially made it an alternate block. Now, the other 3D fighting games did not take that theory. Well, DOA did. Well, DOA was like VF, right? But
Yeah.
like the Namco based fighting games, they went in the opposite direction. They saw what VF3 did and they said, what if movement wasn't nerfed?
Yeah.
What if you could just move?
Yeah.
And what if movement actually was the basis of our fighting games instead of rock, paper, scissors? Right? That's when they officially diverged. That's why Tekken 3 became one of the most popular fighting games ever. And VF kind of just slowly started to go into obscurity because
Yeah.
people actually like movement that feels good,
Yeah.
where you can move around and actually evade things. And Namco based fighting games prior to Tekken 2, Tekken 1, and Soul Blade, the identity of what we consider what Tekken is, the foundation is Tekken 3 for Soul Calibur, Soul Calibur 1.
Mhm.
Those games, the foundation of those games is movement.
Yeah.
And that came from VF3 figuring that shit out. But they abandoned it because they were like, oh fuck, this doesn't work with our actual game design. So it can't
Yeah.
work in our system. But their games were young. Like, you know what I mean? Like Tekken was young, Soul Calibur was young. So they could decide, no, this is what's going to be the foundation of what makes our fighting game different from yours. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be based on movement. And so that is what these games are. Movement is extremely important. So now
Yeah.
when we're
I
so
agree.
far into the future where both games hate the movement, it's like
Mm.
they nerfed it into the ground so severely. But it's like, but you didn't do it for a reason. At least when VF did it, they had a reason. They were like, well, we're doing it because the game, the V what like when you look at VF2, VF2 is VF. But then, you know what I mean? Like the RPS is there, you're playing VF. But then
Yeah.
in VF3, the RPS is there, but then you have this way to just escape it. If the
Yeah.
opponent tried to play RPS, you could just escape it and kill them for trying. So then
Yeah.
it made both players not play VF. They just played this new system. So they're like, no, you're gonna go back to playing fucking VF.
Yeah.
But like with Tekken and Soul Calibur, there was nothing there yet, really. There wasn't this is what defines Tekken and Soul Calibur.
Bro,
So
I did not know that. That's pretty awesome, actually.
so that's why it's a crying
That's it.
fucking shame to see like them abandon and continue to nerf and nerf and nerf movement when it's like, well, that was the basis behind why you even made the 8-way run system.
Well,
And why
yeah.
you made these games the way they are. But and then when you do that, you don't offer an alternative game for the people to play that is good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Like
I'm just like hearing them talk
so
about this shit. I'm just like, bro, like,
yeah. Like
the,
kind of on the lines of what you were saying with the DOA scrub triangle system. This game, and I've said this before, this game was meant to tear down legacy skill. So if you got good movement, they don't want you to have that. So lesser players can hit you, or they make the hitboxes bigger so lesser players can actually have a chance against higher players.
right,
Or if you're just blocking or spacing, hey, we're gonna allow players to chip you because your defense is too good or your movement is too good. You know, so you know th- this game commits so many crimes against itself, against itself, and it's a shame. But I'm gonna keep going with this video.
yeah,
It was 12 in the first instance when your opponent has rage, but now it's going to be quite reduced. So you can see if you're the one who has rage and you're being oppressed like this, then the amount of chip damage you receive is drastically reduced.
はい、こういった変更を加えること
So you still okay. So you're still taking a significant amount of chip, but it reduces when you're in rage.
the
Eh,
chip reduces and rage. What does that actually mean? Or is it just saying that like so are they saying that the move that does 15 damage outside of rage does less damage in rage? So it does like 10 damage or something in rage? Or are they saying that the rage version of the move now does less damage than it normally used to?
I know for a fact they're saying that if the person getting hit by the chip damage move, if they're in rage, they take less damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I misunderstood. So they're saying the person in rage
で、
when they're
最後に自分
blocking.
が有利な状態でヒート
Yeah, they take less chip because he was
Okay.
saying that people just, when they get down to like
Hey,
the lower levels of their life,
again,
people just chip them down to where
see,
they don't have any life left. And they
no,
just, poke them and kill them. But
yeah,
if they take less damage and rage, they'll last a bit longer in the fight.
yeah, no. See that doesn't address the core of the issue. Like this is what I'm
で、
talking about. Like it's this like compromise. Like they don't actually want to go back on their design. So they're like, oh well, the problem really was that they chipped them down to like really low, and they could just chip them out. But if we just make it to where they can't get chipped out when they have low health, then that'll fix everything. It's like, no, the problem is that you can chip someone until they get into rage.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. Like it's the
Yeah.
chip damage itself. Like that is a fucking issue. It should
Yeah,
not be that much.
it
That's
shouldn't
insane.
be in the game at all, really.
Shouldn't be in the game at all. But the thing is that if you don't want to walk back chip damage wholesale, then you need to make it to where it's not that bad. Like it's just small, because then health gain isn't that bad. You fix two birds with one stone if you just make it to where chip damage is like tiny. Because imagine this, like I do a move on you and it only takes 5 chip damage, right?
Yeah.
Then if you go in and you do a couple jabs and you get that back, and I block that, it's not that big a deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it could make up some of a difference. Like, like it could have made some of a difference. Like if you had low health and then I, boom, boom, now I'm forcing you to like respond because you got low health and 5 damage now means a lot, you
Yeah.
know? But so yeah, then it means something. But now you're doing this whole reverse rage shit where it's like, oh well, if they have rage, then we're gonna make it take less damage and blah blah blah. No, it just needs to do less damage
Yep.
overall.
I
Like,
agree.
I
Yep.
know you're not gonna take chip out. So like, okay, if we gotta have it, it needs to do less damage. It's just that fucking simple.
100%.
相手に近寄って有利な状況から2択でフィニッシュっていったものが、かなり試合の後半に至っては、起きにくくなるように変更を加えてます。
So like we were saying, as a result, seeing someone just beat the crap out of their.
That does 15 damage.
That's insane. Why should you do that when the opponent blocks?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's insane.
A 14 frame attack. What the fuck am I supposed to do to a 14 frame attack? And then do a massive amount of damage to finish them off. Should occur much less than previously.
はい、では、もう一つ、次はパワークラッシュの、パワークラッシュ付きヒット技の、変更点の動画をお願いします。
Next, we're going to show some of the changes about Power Crush and Heat Engagers.
はい、今回、アズセナでサンプルを持ってきました。
This case is Azusena.
はい、見ていただいた通り、ただのパワークラッシュ技になってます。
So now you can see it's changed simply to only the Power Crush property without the Heat Engager property.
はい、代わりに、他の、ヒート発動技を用意して、このように叫ぶ攻撃から、ヒート発動に行って。
Say what?
I mean, yeah, like I'm just repeating what you're saying. Like, yeah, that's the way it should have been.
Yeah.
攻めを仕掛けたりといったようなことを変更に加えて、失ったものもありますが、その分、攻め手として面白くなるような変更を加えてます。
So you can see she's had Heat Engager properties added to a different move instead, which should give the Azusena players a different way to play her and hopefully enjoy it just in a more fair manner.
はい、なんでちょっと、該当の技を持ってたキャラクターに関してはヒート発動技が一つ変更になりますが、戦術の幅を広げたり空中コンボが変わったり、いろいろと手を入れてますので。
Man, I need to figure out why, like my I saw what you're talking about where like I guess like when I project things on like YouTube
Yeah.
and things like that, the video's kind of stirring a little bit.
Yeah, a
Hey,
lot.
figure that out. But
Can
that's,
barely tell what's
こちら
going on, but like I pretty much got it.
yeah.
まあ
Like so on my screen it looks fine. It's
Yeah.
like running like fine, but I'm gonna figure out how to fix that soon. So just bear with us, guys.
お答えください。
And so this should give you an idea of what to expect for characters with these properties as a whole. So you can see we've made these changes to the heat and chip damage, but then also different ways to play them as well.
はい。
はい。そして、3つ目。
All right, let's
はい
go to next one.
3つ目はですね、より、遊びやすくなるための操作性の改善ってことで、まあ、結構、鉄拳7から8になるときにも、
So this here, it's like it's another elimination of like a legacy thing that's been in Tekken for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of half
I-
and half on it. though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of half and half because it seemed like
Like
you
their
should be
strategy
able to sidestep into the foreground.
as a
Yeah.
crouch. I agree.
As-
Like you
it
should be
seemed
able
like
to
you
do
should.
that. But at
Yeah,
the same time, like there is some strategy that
exactly.
goes along with it that some characters, honestly, when you take that away from them, outside of just them being able to blah 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 Tekken 8 and just Tekken 8 their way through the game, but if we ignore that part, like there's a lot of characters where if you allow a character to be able to like move into the foreground when they like are crouching, then that eliminates a lot of forced crouch situation like mix-ups that
Yeah,
aren't like so crazy that they are like just incredibly broken or whatever, but it kind of ruins a lot. So, like for example, like Oscar's down two, like when they block down two, you know, it's like it's a really good situation because it's like they're at a weird like um distance where she's negative, but she can backdash and whiff punish. If they try to step, they have to step this direction, so she'll get hit. She can hit them with certain attacks that normally she wouldn't be able to get. So like, because they would just step the way that they could avoid it. So it's
yeah.
like um and all that would just go away. And I feel like if you do it, it's kind of whack when you developed all of these like strategies that aren't like breaking the game, but then like you think about it from the perspective of like, well, I mean, but yeah, you should be able to, sidestep while crouching. Like, fair enough, I guess. So I it's one of those things where like if they change it, I feel a little like I'll gripe about it, but it's one of those I'll accept it because it's like that's
I
one of those I can kind of like just I can just move on with. It's like
so
okay,
for
but if they
me,
didn't change it, I would be cool. I'd be like whatever, cool.
this is a sad thing going away. As a
Yeah,
Dragonite player, like
yeah,
doing down two into the forced crouch, where
yeah.
like okay, they have to take the mix up
Right,
depending on which side you're on. It's like a
right,
legacy thing where
right,
like if you know, right?
right.
And then
Exactly.
like it's like
Yeah.
okay, well we in tournament and and I know and you see
Right,
me,
and then we
I'm
can
a
play a
Dragonite
different
player.
game.
We about to
Right,
all right, no, I'm not gonna let you have this side. We're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for whatever side we gonna get. Because
right,
I know that you have the advantage on this side.
right.
And it's like I said, it's a strategy. It's an old man Tekken thing that
Yeah,
I
it's
am
like
I
another
I
thing
like,
that.
is but at the same time, when you do get hit with the shit and you can't move and get out the mix up, it's like, damn, I wish I could
Yeah,
move.
there are some other
Yeah.
situations where it's just like if you're just crouching in general, it would be nice to be able to just step in every direction. But this is what I don't understand about what they're saying here. How are you actually going to do that? Because like, the reason why you can, let's say, step in every other 3D fighting game into the foreground and background because every other 3D fighting game has a block button.
Well,
But in this game, if I hold down, I am going to, I'm going to crouch. I'm gonna crouch. So I'm thinking to myself like, how are you going to how are they going to make it to where you can actually step and crouch?
well,
I
like
mean
it's
crouch and then step to the foreground.
well, like it says on here on this little list, you'll be able to kind of pre-input the down, you know, so you'd immediately like sidestep out the animation
Well, that's what I'm
once you.
saying. Like if you're holding down, like think about it for a second. Like you're holding down on your controller, right? Okay, well you can't press down if you're holding down on your controller because you're already pressing down. So you will have to release it, right?
Yeah, why you in the animation? Like while you're in the animation, it's like you stuck down there, you can be pressing down.
No, but you can't press down if you're already holding down because you're pressing down.
Yeah,
So what I'm saying is that like the way it works now is that like if I'm pressing down, if I'm holding down, right? I'm crouching. Okay.
yeah,
And so when I let go of down, my character is standing up. Like they start the animation of standing up. So are they saying like when I let go, like I go to neutral and then I press down, that it will not crouch. It will, but then what if I just press down? So let's say I press down, right? Like I'm holding down so that I'm crouching, right? And then I hold neutral, and then I go to neutral, and then I press down. Am I going to
Um,
crouch or am I going to step?
I think if you put the inputs in quick enough, you should be able to step.
But what if I want to crouch?
You just press down instead of down.
No, but you. Okay, so you would press. Okay, I see. So you press down, then you go to neutral, and then you press down. You can fuzzy. But if I press down, okay, I got it. So
It,
so what they're doing is that they're increasing the buffer window during that
yeah,
neutral state, so that when I press down, my character will actually step.
yeah.
Okay.
細かくやってきたんですけども、大きなところにちょっと手を入れました。で、その3つを今から説明します。
ごめんすぎやな。ずっと言われてる。So we have a few enhancements that we made to the control system. There's 3 main ones, and we're going to be going to this now.
はい、まず1つ目ですけども、しゃがみ状態の時に画面手前に横移動今までできなかったんですけども、シーズン2から横移動できるようになります。
これ新しいプレイヤーだと分かんないけども、
鉄拳知ってる人ほど分かると思います。
もう俺何十年言われてる。ごめんなさいね。
お待たせしました。
So this one's a big thing that players have been asking for quite a long time now. Where if you're crouching, it was hard to move into the foreground of the stage. And this has been changed. So players who are new to the franchise, it might not make a lot of sense, but people who play quite a lot, you'll understand this is a big change.
Yeah.
はい、これでですね、実はそのさっきからの攻めの要素をいっぱい説明してるんですけども、守ってる側のその横移動で守るっていうところも、結構強化されるので、この変更が実は、ディフェンシブな面でもいい機能を果たすんじゃないかと思っています。
And so Tekken 8 as a whole is still, aggressive gameplay showcase. We still want to buff the defensive options a little bit, and one of them is making these side steps a little bit more viable.
これただどう入力するのって分かってない人いる。
Yeah.
See, if people brought up stuff like this as like, hey, get with the times, old man. The game can't just work how it used to work all the time. We're updating the game because it needs to, get with the times, old man. I would actually understand that argument.
Yeah.
Because we are exploiting something that honestly should have always worked like this. The game should have always worked where you can sidestep from crouching, but it didn't. So we just took advantage of that fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, like, and of course, because we came up with all these strategies, we're going to lament the fact that they're gone. They're going to go away. But you don't see people bring shit like this up when they're saying, "Oh, get with the times, old man," blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah,
They're
they
not
don't play
saying
the
shit like
fucking
this.
game. They don't play the
Yeah,
game to even know.
it's like exactly because it's like this is something where legitimately this is an actual like modernizing the game because you are
Yeah.
actually taking problems that the game has always had and you are correcting them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
is legitimately that.
And,
Like
and like I said before, I can't really say any arguments to get it about it because
right.
I get it. I
Right,
get it.
it's like a legitimate fucking thing. We just want it in because we've learned how to deal with it in a way that
Yeah.
benefits us.
Yeah.
But there's actually not a good argument to keep it the way it is. See, I wish I would hear stuff like that because then it's just like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess I just got to get with the times. All right, but when you're talking about making the game a completely different game, I can't. That's not getting with the times. You're just changing my game into something that's completely different. But anyway, all right. I just
Yeah.
want to say something about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
だからマイクで「横井戸!」っていう声入力だよってことをちゃんと教えてあげて。
音声入力。
音声入力だよって。横井戸だよ。横井戸。相模から横井戸って言ったらできるから。
AI スピーカー的な入力。
やり方わかんない。
So I don't know that this was implemented, but Harada says that if you speak like to Alexa and say, sidestep, then your character sidesteps. I was unaware of these changes.
かなりの声量が必要ですよね。
声量も必要だし、その時でも技食らってますけど。
You have to say it quite loud.
これ何%ぐらいの人信じたのかな
Maybe some.
何%ぐらいいるのかな
It's a joke. It's not April Fool's yet, but that was a joke.
公式マイク。専用の。
さすがに冗談だと。
昔あったね、PS2.
Man, I need to get back to my Japanese.
はい。はい。じゃあ次に、2つ目。こちら、まあ結構、なんていうんですか、操作的に、やりやすくなった点として、横歩きを先行入力で出せるようにしました。
The second one is you're able to kind of buffer inputs for sidestepping now.
これはですね、今までは硬直の切れ目で、そこをしっかり把握して横歩きっていうのに入力しなければできなかったので、なかなかこう思ったように、今の横歩きだったらかわせてるんじゃないのみたいなところの弁慶が食らってたりしたと思うんですけども、先行入力が効くことによって、しっかり読み切っていれば横歩きができるようになったので、これも結構大きな変更になります。
And so what this means is up until now, you had to know precisely when you were recovered from the animation of your previous move until the input for a sidestep would be accepted. But that's been kind of relaxed a little bit so that sometimes you felt, I input a sidestep and it didn't happen. Why not? Those kind of instances should be a lot less.
はい。で、3つ目、これ結構自分が本当にやりたかったラウンド開始時の入力の難しさを緩和っていうところで少しだけ先行入力を聞くようにしました。どういうことかっていうと、今までラウンドはファイトっていったタイミングで本当タイミングよく押さないと技が最速で出なかったんですけども、ちょっとだけ先行入力が効くので、割と狙ったタイミングで技が出せるようになるっていう、これかなり、大きな変更になります。
And so similarly, at the start of the round, when you're deciding what kind of action you want to take right at the bell, we relaxed the input window for that as well. It used to be you had to time it exactly right to get your character to move at the fastest instance, but now it's been relaxed a little bit.
I think that's unnecessary.
I think that's good. I think it's really bullshit. I think input buffering is like really good for 3D fighting games, especially stuff like this, because there are so many times where you're like, and I know everybody has experience. I think that's part of the reason why Tekken is so inconsistent, because there are so many times where you're like, where you put in the situation, it's like, I stepped that. I know I stepped that. But it's like, oh well, you'll see the input. Oh, you press up or whatever, or you press this button at the beginning of the round. I did a 10 frame motherfucking jab, and he did a fucking down forward one, and he beat me. And then it's like, oh, your jab just didn't fucking come out. It's like, what the fuck? I pressed the button. You'll see that you pressed the button, but because, oh well, It just didn't say your input. But it's like other 3D fighting games. Well, Soul Calibur kind of doesn't have it either, to be honest. Like they got a little bit more, but fucking VF and DOA got that shit.
It's like, hey, we're gonna make it easier for you to mash at the start of the round.
I mean, but it's like, so what? Like if they mashed at the start of the round and they're pressing a fucking button, whatever. Like they intended to do. Like no, that's
I
stupid.
think it's unnecessary.
I don't think it's unnecessary because if you're trying to do a fucking move, it should come out when you fucking want it to come out.
Hey.
It's like you're not gonna know exactly when the bell rings because you don't. It's not exactly when they say, go or start or whatever. There are some frame differences and there's no visual indication. There's no nothing there, and you can't practice that in practice mode. Like that's just like, that's fucking let me practice the round one fight part so I can learn how to. That's fucking retarded. Of course, it should be like that.
I agree. I think that's kind of silly because there's been plenty of times where like I feel like I've mastered the timing between fight and the actual time you have a control of your character, and then or. If like you said, like, oh, this guy beat me with a clearly not 10-frame move. I jabbed.
Yeah, I jabbed. He did a slow.
He beat me with down 4-2. Like, huh?
Yeah, what the fuck? I did Magic 4. And this guy did fucking like, I don't know, Brian's back 1, and I'm the one that got counter hit launched. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah, that's bullshit. It's like that has nothing to do with you being more skillful or anything like that. That's just that's Tekken jank.
Yes, I guess it's a small quality of life thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a quality of life thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
そんなことがあってみ。
Say what?
So maybe it's one of those things you're just used to doing. It's like, well,
yeah, like I've never really thought about at the start of a round. Oh, I can't get this to come out. I need somebody to help me.
No, it's not about you can't get it to come out at all. It's more about like it doesn't come out at the time that you want it to, which you act like that's never killed you before. I guess not you. Not you. No, okay, then not you then. But like me and Josh, have you had that happen before?
Yeah, I noticed it. That's why I was like, I'd be so focused on like it's not a huge thing, but it's definitely a thing that's just like, well, shit. Okay,
that's annoying.
fine.
Yeah,
I try not to mash at the start of the match.
It's not mashing.
It's not mashing. It's like if you know that someone else is throwing out a slow ass fucking button at the beginning of the round, every round, and you know that your Magic 4 fucking will counter hit launch them at the beginning of the fucking round. What the fuck? That's like, okay, Herbert, whatever.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right.
皆さん驚いてますけど、実は全然鉄拳初じゃなくて、鉄拳1は縦にこう投げを先にずっと押しっぱなしにしてると最速で出てますんで、鉄拳1の頃からやってます。
So Rada was mentioning this was present in various times throughout the series, such as Tekken 1, he said you could hold down both punch buttons, left punch, left kick, for example, at the start of the round, and would throw your opponent at the earliest available time.
はい、こちらもですね、ちょっと上の2つに対して動画を持ってきたので、動画で2つお見せしたいと思います。
So Nakatsu's brought some footage to show you examples of the first two.
では1つ目、こちらはしゃがみからの横移動が出せるようになったところで、奥移動は避けれない連携が手前に行くことで避けられると。
So he's saying this is an instance of being able to crouch, to sidestep from a crowd. あれしゃがみからしゃがんでないんだ。
いや、ジンがしゃがみになってるんです。
So he's saying, for example, Jin is able to go into the foreground.
入っていったところで結構慣れるまでちょっと違和感があるかもしれないですけども、かなりしゃがみからのこの横移動の駆け引きが変わると思いますので、ぜひ配信されたらいろいろと調べてみてください。
So this should change a lot of different things about options you might have in certain scenarios. So please check this out when it's applied.
はい、では続いて横歩きの先行入力も。
Say what, Cross?
I think that overall this is a good change because what it allows you to be able to this is actually a defensive change because it's giving you more defensive options when someone's being offensive towards you. This
Yeah,
is legitimately a good thing. Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, I can't argue against it. Like I really feel like I'm being an old man when I say I wish I
Right.
could keep it. You know,
Yeah.
I really do feel that.
Yeah.
There's really no benefit. It's just for you.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to it. I don't really like it. Has been something that annoys me, but I do kind of see some of the I guess the novelty of it. But it's like you know, I, it is a unique Tekken thing because I don't think other fight games ever
No.
had that.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah.
on that end, I'm like, well, that is kind of Tekken, but it's not. That doesn't mean it's good. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
Dragonov is nerfed
So
from
is
being
everyone
top
other
one to top one.
Well, I
top
mean, the game
one?
is a little too aggressive, Herbert. I think they need to tone down that aggression.
Yeah.
お見せします。
The next is kind of showing the input buffer for sidestep.
Okay, they're gonna actually have to
はい、こ
input
ちらちょっとロー
on
の
the
連
screen
携
so
に
I can
対し
see the
て
input buffer.
先
That
行
would
入
be the
力で
great
ガルキ
way
をす
to
ると
do
い
it.
ったような感じになってますが、こちらシーズン1の時には結構タイミングを測るのが難しくて、ちょっと食らってたりしたと思うんですけども、先行入力を使うことでガード中に横歩きを入力して、このように綺麗にかわせる。
You say what?
You can't
I don't
see
like.
there's one of the inputs.
Yes, they should have the inputs on the side so that and so this is what they should have done to show this off. They should have had the prior version first, show like them pressing the input around the same like time and showing it failing. Like, oh, see, if you tried to press it right here, you would have died. Then
Yeah.
show the new thing. Hey, but if you press it, you can press it this early and you will step it. But right now, I can't tell the
Yeah.
difference between that.
Yeah,
I can't tell. I can't tell when you're pressing it. You know what I mean? I'm just seeing him step it. So I don't
Yeah.
know how big or small or whatever the input window is. They're just saying, "Look, I'm stepping it. Don't you see? It's bigger now." Okay.
Yeah.
I have no way of fucking verifying that. It's just like and if it is bigger, I don't know by how much.
Yeah. That's crazy.
例になってます。
Saying this is an instance of the relaxed window for the middle of Law's string there, where you could do it previously. It was just very difficult timing, but it's made much more easier because you can input it while you're still blocking the prior attack.
はい、以上が、バトルの大きな変更点になってます。
はい。じゃあ一回歌スライドに持ってもらいましょうか。
And that's some of the major changes that we have for 2.
こういった具合で、今の全体的な
So they still have all of the battle or balance changes for all the characters as well. In season
That was
2.
it.
Yep. Like
So
the
the
rest,
game is
the
the
rest
game.
of the rest of the changes, come with the character balance.
Yeah, that's just character balance. But like, for the system mechanics, the game is still the same fucking game. All they did was make chip damage take slightly less damage outside of rage and significantly less damage once your opponent is within rage. But that's not really the issue of why I'm annoyed with the game or whatever. And then I guess they made power crush heat engagers not a thing. Okay, that's good, but like that should already not be a thing. The only legitimate L is that you can move.
Yeah.
I mean not the L, but W. Like the only legitimate W is that you can move. It's like, okay, that's good, but you still can't block. And then you're giving people the ability to be able to do those retarded armor heat engager shit like in stances now. So I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Pierogi, I don't know what that is. He said y'all mentioned anything about the lock-on targeting during sidestepping.
It's like
I don't know anything about that.
It's the issue that people were talking about. You know how like the heat smashes would like auto lock.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Find
Yeah.
like heat seeking missile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They be
think.
turning around like 3 times, like I'm gonna get you. You ain't going.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you know what? I do remember that because I remember you did that to me. Like I
Yeah.
was sidestepping, and you were like, the character was like, follow me while I was
like
walking.
that. Was it Justice League when Flash was running and Superman was like,
Yeah, I was like,
where you where you think you going? Yeah, like I can't see you. It's like I sidestepped successfully. Doesn't matter. This is some DOA level tracking right here.
yeah, I know, right?
that is crazy.
I don't think they know that's an issue yet. Maybe that's as intended.
So with everything you guys have seen, is this enough?
No.
Is this enough? First of all, to make a significant impact with the game, and second of all, is it enough to give Tekken 8 another chance? Because on one hand, it seemed like it's not enough, but on another hand, it seems like they are listening somewhat.
No, I think that they say that they're listening and all that shit, but in reality, I don't think they really want to change the game at all. I think it's just that they're like, oh fuck, we still want the game to be like hyper aggressive. The problem with the game right now is everyone goes in the heat and then they press buttons on you, right? Like they admitted to that, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the problem. Do you think that anything they just said actually changes that? Like, do you think like an opponent doing less heat on a person that's in rage gonna make someone say, "I don't want to go in the heat as much"?
Yeah.
Do you think that like them giving armor fucking heat engagers to what do you call that shit? To stances is gonna make people less likely to go into heat and press buttons? Did they reduce the time that you are in heat? Did they reduce the damage that you're in heat? Did they add some significant change to heat that you can take advantage of to punish? They didn't do any of that.
Nope.
All they did was, hey, we made it so that chip damage on a on someone that's in rage less, and we made it so that you can step, and we took some characters' armor heat engagers away.
Yeah. So it's essentially the same game.
Hey, Herbert.
Exactly.
Let me answer your question with a question. You want to play Ravens Watch? I don't want to play
Man,
that.
I've been thinking about Ravens watch this whole entire podcast.
Yeah, so
Wrap this up.
second, no fucks, don't care.
I go to bed. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, this doesn't do anything. It's the same stupid bullshit game. They're probably gonna change it in 2 more seasons. At the rate they're going, if they continue this trend, it'll be a Tekken game around season 4. So, yeah, I'm good. I'll just fight off the nightmares and save Reverie. I'm good. Like like everything we've kind of talked about, even though we were like joking in the beginning, like, oh, now you're walking it back. Turns out it wasn't as much as I thought. Going into this, I kind of think like, okay, well, let's see what the changes were. I was kind of expecting a little more. That they was like, because when I heard they were walking back some stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, season 2, that's the time to do a big shift when it comes to like a game's direction with the season. I know they're not going to remove heat, but maybe they're going to make heat like an option rather than the demand.
Yeah,
but that's not the case. So fuck this, which sucks because I really like. I was thinking about Reina a few days ago. She's like a lot of fun. Like I would really be playing the hell out of her right now, but I'd like her and everything about this game better if this game wasn't the way it was. Because like this is like the game's DNA is heat, and until somebody comes up with a mod that just straight up removes it, and there's like a side community of Tekken that's just like, yeah, we just like playing without heat because fuck that. That'll be
Yeah.
the day I play this game again.
Yeah,
But,
I agree. Like it still looks like the same game with like a few little tweaks. I thought they were gonna, maybe nerf heat a lot, like you said, like tone down the time you're in it, or uh, tone down some of the moves, or and tone down the chip, like you were saying earlier, Cross, like just tone down chip like all across the board to where it's like very, very little, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that, you know.
Yeah, it's the same fucking game, but they're making it look as if they're saying all the things you want to hear. They're saying all the things that people want to hear, but what they're actually doing is not that really at all. Like they're like touching a few things that you know what they're doing? They're giving the people who want to defend them something. Like they're
Mm,
giving them something that they can latch on to so they can say, see, this is what they're doing. They're doing this,
yeah,
they're doing that, and these are problems. And that is going to help out so much.
yeah,
And they think that they can trick their way into making people like the game. But that doesn't turn out too well in the end. All that does is at best you fool some people some of the time. But you know how the rest of the saying goes, can't fool all the people all the time.
yeah.
And
It,
you know, eventually the truth of what the game is shows. It just takes time.
yeah,
And if you
yeah,
don't change it, that's what the memory of the game will be.
yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, they almost got me. They almost got me. I was like, man, they're admitting their wrongs. It's like, man, they came out and said everything we've been saying. It's like, oh well, the game is too aggressive. I know we said it was aggressive, but it's a little bit too aggressive. It's like, oh, everybody's doing the same thing, just popping heat into a combo, into this, into that. Everybody looks the same. It's like, oh man, are they actually addressing the issues that I have, and acknowledging all of the issues that I have, and watching it? It's like,
no.
and I always have a saying when it comes to like certain characters that like get nerfed, or they get buffed, and it's like nothing really. This is like one of those, hey, we did something patches, you know.
Yeah, this is just
Uh,
a PR stunt. Like, I'm perfectly willing to listen to people say things, listen to their argument, listen to like what their side is and what they are saying. But if what they do directly contradicts what they say,
yeah,
then I pretty much wholesale throw out what they say
and see,
because it doesn't matter. It's like,
yeah,
well, what you're doing contradicts with what you're saying, and so why would I trust anything you're saying when I can just look at what you're doing?
yeah, and kind of on lines with what you're saying, like, so I really want the reason why I want to do this is because I want to give you know Tekken 8 and Harada and the people behind Tekken a fair shot, a fair listen. Like, hey, let's hear them out. Let's see what they're changing. Let's see what they want to do, and see if it's something that actually means something. I want to give it a fair listen, um, so we can all come to our own conclusions on, hey, if we want to play this game. Because don't get me wrong, as much shit as I talk about Tekken 8, don't get me wrong, Tekken to me is like one of the greatest fighting game series of all time. We already know it and sold like a boatload from like Tekken 1 to now. So, and it's one of those games that I've competed in a lot over the years. I put a lot of time in. Um, Talked some people and met a lot of great people through Tekken. So this game means a lot to me. So when I see it going the way it goes, and I'm talking shit, I'm not doing it because I just hate the series or whatever. I actually want it to be the best it can be.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I just wanted to have you guys sit down with me, watch this, and like give it a fair chance to see, okay, is this something? Are they actually doing something? And I
Yeah.
think we all on the same page where it's like,
Yes, but actually,
whatever. Yeah.
I'm the only thing I'm surprised with is that Michael Murray actually and the team actually said what they said. That legitimately surprised me.
Mhm.
But I wasn't surprised by the rest. Like it was like, oh, okay, well, this is what I thought. Like I'm at a point to where like I don't know, I just trust my feelings on shit. And if my feelings tell me to give you a chance and listen to you, I'll do it. But if my feelings are telling me it's a waste of time and that you already pretty much know the deal, then I won't give you the time of day. And I feel like that's not something I can explain to people because it's none of your business. What I do with my time is my time. If I feel like this is a waste of my time and I know I'm not going to like it, you could say, well, if you tried it you would like it. It's like, yeah, but that's not for you to decide for me. My time is precious to me and I'm not going to waste it looking at shit that I know the conclusion. Like I know how I'm going to feel because I know what their intent is. Like I know what their intent is. So if I know what their intent is, I pretty unless they just fumble and make a mistake of a miraculous beneficial mistake in my direction,
yeah. I'd
they're
rather that be
going.
the surprise.
Yeah,
That's all.
right. Like they just
Unless
they
you're
fumble and I earned
non-weak.
$1 million. Like they're going to do what they want to do, and that doesn't align with what I want. And so it's that simple. And so it's like I don't really need to listen to them, but we're hanging out, so it's
Yeah.
cool. But I would like I didn't watch any of this because I was like, well, I'm not gonna play Tekken 8 and I'm not interested in it. So there's nothing that they're gonna do that's gonna make me want to play the game because
Yeah.
they're not going to change it in a way that's gonna make because they want to make this game. So like they're not gonna change it in a way that I like.
What the hell is
Yeah.
this? What is that?
It's some crossover shit. They were
Dynasty
talking.
Warriors?
What was it? What was it? Namco Bandai recently said that they were going to be more what do you call it? Um, they were going to lease out their characters more, like their franchises more than they've done in the past.
Yeah.
I think that's not good. Um,
I don't get it. What is this crossover? They're gonna start with the most ridiculous, nonsensical crossover they could think of.
I mean, I think it's more so like companies come to them, and say, "Hey, can we use your characters?" So this like some Chinese,
Kingdom Come Deliverance? What the fuck is it? Like,
I
what is
don't know, like
it?
some fucking some Chinese like game.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so Ravens watch.
I don't care about this.
Yeah, come on, dude. I'm ready to play like a game I like.
Yeah. But I I got my hopes up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be transparent. I got my hopes up that the things in this trailer.
In this trailer, damn.
Not this trailer.
I mean, this looks fucking retarded, dude.
I got.
Help me join my army to take on the fucking what's his name, Genghis Khan.
Yeah. So I got my hopes up that the things that they were going to change in this season 2 would fix the game to where I can start back playing the series that I love. But it don't look like it. It don't look like it, which is a shame. A shame.
It's always.
I can just hear. I can hear Josh's thoughts right now, and he's thinking, "When are we gonna get off fucking Ravens?" Like, whatever. Ravens one.
I got a scarlet bill that's just begging to be tested right now.
Oh man.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, her. Like, it's Tekken. We've put so much of our time and life into this game, and there was an opportunity for things to be different. And once again, our hopes were dashed.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that this just ain't it.
You gotta come to grips, man.
Yeah,
Dude, like, just accept reality, man. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to accept this is reality. I hate this timeline.
Jim says it all the time, man. It'd be easy
know,
for
right?
you. Like, this is reality.
This is reality.
This is reality.
All right. Well, that's all I have. Any last words before we get out of here?
See you on Ravens Watch. You should stream that. Like, just jump right into that. You can stream that.
Yeah, you're right. What about you, Cross? Any last words?
No, not really. I don't know. Nothing.
Well, last words for me. Despite what we've said, play what you like, play what you love. If you like Tekken 8, play it, love it, get good at it, practice. If you don't want to, play at a competitive level, just play casually, enjoy the game as is.
Play what you hate.
Let the hate flow through you.
Play what you hate.
But plugs. Josh, you got plugs?
Yeah, you can find me at Immortal Afro Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. Get back into live streaming soon. I got some financial woes I need to take care of first. That's why everything's just kind of been on the back end. But yeah, look forward to that in the coming weeks. That's about it. You can find me on Twitter at Eternal Afro Josh, where I talk a lot of shit. And yeah, fuck this guy.
Well, guys, you can find me on YouTube and Twitch at H3 The Game. I'm also on X Twitter as well. I think at H3 The Game as well. I'm new to Twitter, X, so I'm just now getting started. So follow me on there. And hey, that's all I have. You guys be easy. Peace.
Peace.